Blissful Bookshelf. Chapter 302, Chapter 302, Shocking Pill Technique, 1. Chapter 302, Shocking Pill Technique, 1. Not only RH experts on the high platform, but even the martial artists on the square could see everything inside the Alchemist. Because there were also a few huge crystal stones in the square, everything inside could be seen clearly. Seeing Li Lingtian give up just like that, they were filled with contempt. As an alchemist, he actually gave up during the competition. Moreover, he was still so arrogant after giving up. Even he felt embarrassed. What's wrong with Big Brother? Why aren't you attacking? Jade grew anxious when she saw that Li Lingtian was still standing there without making a move. Although she did not care about anything, she still thought that her big brother was the best. Young master disdains to compete with these people, Qingling said as she stood beside Jade. She was the one who shocked Li Lingtian's speed and quality of alchemy. This little bit of time was not a problem for Li Lingtian. 20 minutes had passed, and many martial artists had already left the Alchemist. They either failed or left successfully. For those who failed, 20 minutes had passed, so it was naturally impossible for them to refine pills again. As the numerous alchemists gradually left, the warriors on the square and the powerhouses on the platform no longer paid any attention to Li Lingtian because he had given up. However, at this moment, someone exclaimed, "Is he going to refine pills?" It was unknown if it was from the high platform or the plaza, but a voice rang out. Instantly, everyone looked into the crystal and toward Li Lingtian's seat. The young man who was supposed to give up the competition took out a palm-sized pill cauldron at a moderate speed. Then, he looked at the cauldron seriously and waved his hand. The cauldron floated in the air and a flame was cast from his hand to quickly warm it. He wants to refine pills. 20 minutes have passed and you're only taking action now. Isn't this a joke? Don't tell me he doesn't use the core fire. He wants to use his own primordial fire to concoct pills. He's not simple. Alchemists who use primordial fire to concoct pills are not simple. Countless warriors and powerhouses were looking at Li Lingtian. All eyes were focused on him. Even Pill Master Yun Yuan, who had been keeping his eyes closed and not speaking, opened his eyes because of the noise from the people outside. A trace of impatience appeared on his face, but when he saw the situation inside the crystal, he could not help but become serious. Li Lingtian calculated the time and realized that it was about time to begin. He could refine it in a few minutes, but he could not afford to be careless. Otherwise, he would lose face if he was eliminated in the first round. With a flick of his consciousness, the heaven and earth creation cauldron appeared in his hand. Then, the power of the flames of the flaming sacred body circulated. It was obviously impossible to refine pills by relying on the earth core flame. Only by controlling the flames himself could he be confident and easily control them. Warming the cauldron, selecting the medicinal herbs, and placing them in. His technique was refined and practiced, and his proficiency was almost like flowing water. There was no pause at all. He flipped his hands and cast spells one after another. The flames under the cauldron kept changing like an obedient child. Dongling, who was beside him, felt a wave of disdain when he saw Li Lingtian attempting to refine pills. However, when he saw Li Lingtian's technique and speed, he was stunned. This technique was definitely something that could only be mastered after a long time of practice. Even a grandmaster would not be able to match this technique. However, he still could not believe that Li Lingtian would succeed. Blissful Bookshelf. Outside, on the square and on the high platform, all the cultivators were stunned. All of this was not alchemy at all, but an art that made people's minds follow the movements of those slender and clean hands. What exquisite techniques! Lan He and the alchemist were stunned by Li Lingtian's technique. This kind of technique was definitely what a pill refiner pursued. Even if the refinement was unsuccessful, just this technique alone would conquer everyone. He's really well hidden. He actually treats alchemy as an art. He's not simple. It depends on whether he can refine the medicinal pill in this short amount of time. It's absolutely unimaginable to refine a pill in 10 minutes. Big Brother's pill refining technique is so beautiful. There was a flurry of discussion outside. Ji was also stunned. She had seen Li Lingtian refine pills before, but she did not pay much attention to it. Now, it seemed that his technique was too beautiful. It had nothing to do with alchemy at all, but in everyone's hearts, it was a rigid image. How could they associate such an art together? Pill completed. Collect the pills. Li Lingtian's face was filled with concentration as he refined all 7 herbs. His divine consciousness was focused on the medicinal liquid as the flames in his hand intensified and the cauldron began to spin. In a moment, a series of light shadows flashed. Li Lingtian's divine consciousness moved and a jade bottle appeared in his hand. A suction force sucked the light shadow into it before he put away the cauldron and turned around to leave. When they left, they handed the pills they had refined to the 2 spirit alchemists at the door. Every successful pill refiner had to leave the pills they had refined so that they could be evaluated. 6 minutes. An alchemist said numbly. After he finished speaking, he couldn't believe what he had just said. 6 minutes was simply nonsense. It was not alchemy, and it was not a joke because no one could refine pills in 6 minutes. Not only him, all the martial artists in the square were stunned. 6 minutes. The pill refinement is over. 1. 6 minutes. Was it a success or a failure? It should have failed. Who can refine a medicinal pill in 6 minutes? That's not right. It's impossible to keep a pill that has failed to be refined. To successfully refine it in 6 minutes, isn't this too terrifying? The refinement is completed just like that. All the warriors who witnessed Li Lingtian's refining process were mesmerized by his exquisite technique. However, they stopped in the end. They were all puzzled. Could it be that the pill refinement was completed in a few minutes? Sure. Dongling Hao, who was refining pills at the side, turned pale. He had witnessed Li Lingtian refining pills with his own eyes. Moreover, he had been wasting his time with Li Lingtian. He did not expect the other party to finish refining pills earlier than him. What kind of person was this? Furthermore, he had actually succeeded. Based on the fragrance of the elixir, Dongling Hao was certain that Li Lingtian had succeeded in refining the elixir. He was deeply traumatized. He had looked down on her just now, but he did not expect her to completely ignore his existence. Soon, 3 minutes had passed. All the alchemists had left. Countless alchemists had disappointed expressions on their faces. They really couldn't succeed in refining pills in such a short time. Today's pill refinement competition ends here. The results will appear on the announcement board. The pill refiners who will continue to participate tomorrow will also appear on the announcement board. When the Eastern Tomb Mutian saw that all the pill refiners had completed their competition, he announced loudly. The rest would depend on the 10 pill refiners and pill master Yun Yuan. These pills would be evaluated by 11 pill refiners. Li Lingtian returned to where Ji and the others were and led Ji and Qingling out of the plaza. The servants in the mansion stayed behind to see the results. Although the competition had ended, these pill refiners had to be judged in public. This way, it W7 would appear fair and just. Countless warriors looked at Li Lingtian with envy. The 2 peerless beauties beside him were alchemists. They witnessed the process of refining pills and were extremely impressed by Li Lingtian's alchemy skills. Li Lingtian did not return to the mansion. Instead, he brought Ji and Qingling along for a stroll on the streets. The girls did not feel tired even when they strolled along the streets. However, they didn't know that the square was already in chaos. 6,000 people competed in pill refinement, and more than 4,000 people competed. However, less than 1,000 people succeeded in pill refinement in half an hour. In other words, there were less than 1,000 people who could become alchemists. The judging process was also very fast. As long as the pill refinement was successful, the time frame, and the quality were good, the winner would be considered. They could also enter the next round of the competition. Eh! An alchemist judge exclaimed, and everyone looked over. Spirit alchemist Moon Yen was holding a pill in his hand. His face was filled with shock as if he had seen a ghost. His expression changed rapidly. Spirit alchemist Moon Yen, what's wrong? Spirit alchemist Lan He looked at Spirit alchemist Moon Yen and asked in confusion. As an alchemist, one's state of mind was the calmest and also the most patient. Moon Yen's appearance was a little off. The other spirit alchemists were all smiling because there were actually quite a number of people who had refined high-grade essence cultivating pills in this competition. Although it was only a high-grade first-grade medicinal pill, this was enough to prove the improvement of alchemy. Moreover, high-grade medicinal pills did not mean that the longer one refined the medicinal pill, the better the quality of the medicinal pill. The quality of this medicinal pill was completely dependent on one's talent. Although quality was related to experience, it was not the main factor. With so many people refining high-grade pills this time, in another few decades or a few centuries, the Alchemist Guild might have many more spirit alchemists. Supreme grade essence cultivating pill. Spirit alchemist Moon Yen stuttered, his eyes unable to move away from the pill. Although this voice was not loud, many experts and alchemists on the high platform heard it. What is it? Let me take a look at the peerless essence cultivating pill. Pill Master Yun Yuan also became spirited and shouted at Pill Master Moon Yen in a commanding tone. His face revealed a curious and doubtful expression. Then, Alchemist Moon Yen handed over 10 pills to the other alchemists and the jade bottle to Alchemist Yun Yuan. Shoo! As expected of the legendary peerless medicinal pill. A peerless essence cultivating pill. Such pure quality. This is the first time I've seen a legendary peerless pill. One didn't expect someone to actually refine a peerless pill. Is it from the Dongling clan? Looks like only the Dongling clan has such a pill Dao genius. What? A peerless medicinal pill has appeared? That's impossible, right? Supreme-grade medicinal pills are legendary existences. Even a saint alchemist can't refine them. Look at those alchemists. They definitely can't be fake. All the alchemists stood up with excited expressions on their faces. To alchemists, seeing a peerless pill was undoubtedly like seeing a peerless beauty. Following that, the martial artists in the square also discovered that something was wrong. They all knew that a peerless medicinal pill had appeared. Immediately, countless martial artists began to discuss. That's right. It's a peerless medicinal pill, a peerless origin cultivating pill. Grandmaster Yun Yuan said. As soon as his voice fell, there was a loud bang. All the warriors and experts were excited. They didn't expect that the legendary peerless pill would actually be refined. Flower Drop thanks all the readers for their support. I'm giving out red packets during the new year. Starting from February 2015, I'll give out red packets ranging from 100 to 500 yuan every night at 8 p.m. Group ID 3157722906. For 22751359, you have to join the group to get a red packet. Chapter 303, The Shocked Dongling How. Chapter 303, The Shocked Dongling How. They were all guessing who the pill refiner was. They all thought that it was a genius pill refiner from the Dongling clan. Could it be that Dongling Hao's pill concocting skills have improved? Dongling Mutian was also shocked. In the Azure continent, only the Dongling clan was strong in alchemy. Furthermore, Dongling Hao was one of the strongest in the competition. However, the next sentence from Pill Master Yun Yuansheng sent him straight to the 18th level of hell. The one who refined the supreme grade pill is the alchemist who only took 6 minutes, Li Lingtian. Pill Master Yun Yuan looked at the jade bottles and the information on them. On the jade bottles left behind by each pill master, there was a name and time. What? It's that alchemist who only used 6 minutes to refine a peerless medicinal pill. Damn, isn't this heaven-defying? A pill refined in 6 minutes is actually a peerless pill. What's going on? Refining peerless pills in 6 minutes? Could it be that he's also an alchemy saint? That's impossible. Even a saint alchemist can't refine a supreme-grade pill. The square was in an uproar. He had successfully refined the pill in 6 minutes, and the pill he had refined was a peerless existence. Countless martial artists began to search for that figure, but in the vast sea of people, where could they still see that figure? Where's Li Lingtian? All the warriors wanted to know where Li Lingtian had gone. They wanted to know about this amazing alchemist. How is that possible? Dongling Hao's face was completely pale. He had refined a high-grade medicinal pill, and it had only taken him 12 minutes. With this speed and quality, he could look down on everyone else. However, he did not expect that the young man he despised actually refined a peerless medicinal pill. He recalled the scene in the pill refining room. That young man had called him an idiot, and he was still angry. It turned out that in front of that young man, he had always been a clown. Today, the alchemy competition ends. We'll continue tomorrow. The Eastern Tomb Mutian received the order from Pill Master Yun Yuan and announced the end of today's competition. All the cultivators gradually left, but there was only one person left in their hearts. It was the young man in the pill refining room, because this young man had refined the legendary peerless pill. Li Lingtian. The person the little princess knows seems to be Li Lingtian too. Could it be the same person? Lan Yufeng said coldly. As a representative of the Queen's palace, he had never expected to see a peerless pill in the competition. Moreover, he had heard of this name before. Moreover, he was the target of his extermination. Grand Commander, should we eliminate them secretly? The eldest princess has said that we should eliminate all the people on Shun Mei's side. A young guard looked at Lan Yu Peak and asked in a low voice. Although he was no longer outside, he was still worried that the walls had ears. Whether this Li Lingtian is the one mentioned by the eldest princess or not, we must kill him. It's better to kill 1,000 wrongly than to let one person go. You'll do this without leaving any traces. Lan Yufeng pondered for a moment, then nodded and said. After that, he made a killing gesture. The young man bowed and left when he saw Lan Yufeng. In the courtyard of an inn in Qinglan City, a few powerful warriors were sitting cross-legged with a thoughtful look on their faces. After an unknown period of time, the old man in the lead spoke. This Li Lingtian must be Prince Win's spirit's brother. One never expected him to be able to refine a peerless grade pill. It seems like he's in trouble this time. The old man in the lead was Duanmu He, an inner elder of the Wind Moon Palace. He was also the representative of the Wind Moon Palace. Prince Win's spirit never expected to meet such a brother on his first trip. He's really lucky. However, judging from the people from the Queen's palace, Li Lingtian is in big trouble this time. Should we make a move? When the time comes, it can be considered a favor in front of the prince. Ling Yu said. She had witnessed Li Lingtian's alchemy skills. With such a powerful alchemist, she could seek his help in the future when she needed elixirs. No, this is an internal matter of the Queen's palace. If the House of Storms were to deal with Li Lingtian, it's not against the rules for us to take action. Moreover, Prince Winqim is obsessed with martial arts, but the other princes might not let Prince Win's spirit off. Therefore, we should try not to get involved. Duanmu He muttered to himself for a long time before coming to a decision. The Queen's palace had internal conflicts, and so did his Wind Moon Palace. Naturally, Li Lingtian did not know that he had become the center of attention. His refinement of a peerless grade pill had caused a sensation. He had no idea how sensational the peerless pills in Moonrise City were. But this time, it was refined in front of all the martial artists. This situation was even more shocking. Big brother, Ge is a little hungry. Ge and Qingling strolled around for 3 hours with Li Lingtian trailing behind them. He looked exhausted. It was the most painful to go shopping with a girl. He would rather fight with a martial honor than go shopping like this. Alright, let's find a place to eat something, but we have to go back after eating. One still have a competition tomorrow. Li Lingtian felt relieved. Fortunately, these two ladies were hungry or else he would have collapsed. Yes. The two little girls nodded at the same time. Naturally, they knew that Li Lingtian would not be stumped by such a small competition. He was just finding an excuse. Following that, Li Lingtian brought the two little girls to a restaurant that looked like it had a nice ambience. Young master, young miss, do you need to eat? A warrior's shop assistant greeted Li Lingtian and the other two courteously when he saw them. Find me a private room. Li Lingtian said calmly before he walked into the restaurant with the waiter following behind him. Alright, young master and young miss, please come to the second floor. The shop assistant was extremely happy. If he met a rich owner, he might be rewarded. As he spoke, he led Li Lingtian and the others to the second floor. The waiter led Li Lingtian and the other two to a private room by the window. The room was exquisitely decorated and spacious. One could enjoy the view while dining. Give me the best desserts and dishes. After Li Lingtian sat down, he instructed the waiter. He had not enjoyed himself like this for a long time. Since he was not lacking in spiritual stones, he naturally wanted to enjoy the dishes in this restaurant. Hurry up. After saying that, he threw a middle-grade spirit stone over and started talking to the two girls, ignoring the shop assistant. Young master, please wait a moment. The shop assistant bowed respectfully with a smile on his face. He did not expect that there would really be a reward. Moreover, it was a middle-grade spirit stone, which was equivalent to 100 low-grade spirit stones. These spirit stones were enough for a few months of benefits. Young master, do you think my brothers have left Moonrise City? Qingling suddenly thought of Qingyun. She followed young master and had young master's protection, but her brother had to take the risk alone. She was extremely worried. She understood that her brother wanted to serve the young master, and the young master lacked trustworthy people. Only her brother could do the job. They've left. They're here to gather information. They need to be quick. Qingyun understands this. The first thing for those who gather information is to protect themselves. Without training, it's hard to grow. If anything happens, it's his fate. This world is cruel. Li Lingtian said seriously. He needed Ge and Qingling to understand the rules of this world. Ge was listening as well. He had been in the Ice Palace before and didn't even know the basic rules of life, but ever since his big brother appeared, he had saved him. He also taught her many rules of life, as well as things she didn't know before. It was all patiently taught by her big brother. Rather than saying that big brother was her senior brother, it was better to say that big brother was her parents. Everything that her parents could not do was taught patiently by big brother. Soon, the waiter brought 6 maids with him. Each maid carried 2 or 3 exquisite desserts and dishes. The two girls became excited when they saw the delicious dishes and desserts. After the maids and waiters left, they began to feast. Li Lingtian did not look like a lady at all as he joined in the sweep. Girls would only disregard their image in front of their acquaintances and relatives. The two little beauties were peerless and beautiful. They were perfect incarnations outside, but here, they were like little tigers. As Li Lingtian ate, he looked at the two little beauties and found it hilarious. Not only did the two little beauties not look ugly, but they also had a unique charm. After an hour, the 3 of them had finished all the dishes and snacks on the table. Ge and Qingling did not care about Li Lingtian's presence as they rubbed their bulging stomachs with their little hands. With a satisfied look on their faces, the 3 of them immediately laughed out loud. Feeling that he was holding on, Li Lingtian laid down and planned to rest for a while before going back. But just as he lay down, trouble came. He heard a commotion outside. "Everyone, get out. Our young master will reserve this restaurant." Li Lingtian frowned when he heard a rude voice. No matter where he went, there were always these blind second-generation heirs. "Let's go." Li Lingtian stood up. He did not want to cause any trouble since he had already eaten and did not need anyone to rush him. Qingling and Ji stood up as well. Knowing that Li Lingtian did not want to cause trouble, they opened the door and prepared to leave with a satisfied expression. However, just as Li Lingtian was about to open the door, the wooden door was kicked open and a powerful impact slammed into Li Lingtian. Bang! With a loud explosion, the wooden door crashed into Li Lingtian and was smashed into dust by Li Lingtian's defense. Li Lingtian's face revealed a helpless expression, but he did not lose his temper. Instead, he pulled Ji and the other two out. This time, he had to admit that he was unlucky. Damn it, he actually dared to block it. Looks like he's not convinced. A tall middle-aged man was enraged when he saw the wooden door shatter. He glared at Li Lingtian fiercely. Li Lingtian ignored her and was about to walk out. However, the middle-aged man's face was filled with rage as he was ignored. With a wave of his hand, a dozen warriors blocked the entrance and trapped Li Lingtian and the other two inside. Chapter 304, Chapter 304, Dongling Jade, 1. Chapter 304, Dongling Jade, 1. Li Lingtian took a few steps back, allowing Ji and Qingling to retreat. The expression on his face was extremely calm, and his smile became even wider. He scanned the area with his divine sense. There were 6 rank 5 martial arts grandmasters, 3 rank 8 martial arts grandmasters, and the tall middle-aged man was a peak rank 9 martial arts grandmaster. Li Lingtian sneered in his heart when he saw the other party's cultivation base. He was speechless that someone with such cultivation base dared to act so arrogantly in Qinglan City. However, if he wanted to come over, only people with low cultivation would be so arrogant. If they were super experts, they wouldn't be like this. Al-san, hurry up and get over here. A roguish voice rang out, causing the tall middle-aged man and the others to look fearful as they glared at Li Lingtian. Young master, there's a good-for-nothing here who doesn't seem to be convinced. So this tall middle-aged man is called Al-san. Ji and Qingling burst out laughing after hearing that. Is that so? Let me see who has such guts. The roguish voice rang out once again as he walked toward Li Lingtian. A young warrior appeared in Li Lingtian's line of sight. Rather than calling him a warrior, he was more like a ruffian. His face was itchy. His cultivation was not low. He had actually reached the level of a rank 9 martial arts grandmaster. He really did not know how such a person had cultivated to rank 9 martial arts grandmaster. Li Lingtian looked at the few people before him quietly as the smile on his face grew wider. Yo, one want these 2 girls. Get lost. When the ruffian youth saw Qingling and Ji, his eyes were fixed on them, sizing them up. She clicked her tongue from time to time, and her face revealed a stunned expression. Get lost. Li Lingtian shouted coldly. His voice was like an icy thorn that jolted the few warriors awake with a hint of fear on their faces. If it were any other matter, he could still tolerate it for a while. However, he had actually targeted Ji and Qingling. Not to mention a few martial arts grandmasters, he would even kill a martial emperor or a martial supreme. In this world, no one could touch his treasures and women. Do you know who this young master is? You actually dare to be so arrogant in front of this young master. The ruffian youth was not the least bit afraid when he saw Li Lingtian's rage. He had encountered similar situations many times and no one dared to act arrogantly after revealing their identity. 3 seconds. Get lost. Li Lingtian said coldly. Those who dared to threaten him in front of him were no longer around. At worst, he would just leave this place. I am the seventh young master of the Dongling clan, Dongling Yu. Do you know of the Dongling clan? The ruffian youth's eyes were fixed on Qing Ling, curiously looking at Ji Yi. Although he couldn't see Ji Yi's face, he was attracted by his peerless grace. Die. A murderous intent flashed across Li Lingtian's eyes. With a flip of his hand, he unleashed the sky-turning palm. After reaching the perfection of martial arts, the earth-ranked skill was executed smoothly without any hesitation. It was almost instantaneous. Rumble. With a muffled sound, Dongling Yu and his 9 subordinates did not have the slightest chance to resist as they were ruthlessly slapped down. A handprint skeleton appeared on the second floor. The 10 martial arts grandmasters had already been sent to the first floor. The customers in the restaurant were all chased away. Some of the waiters were stunned when they saw Dongling Yu and the others being beaten down. Dongling Yu, who had always been domineering, was actually taught a lesson by someone. How could they not be shocked? One Dongling Jade was nothing, as long as the Dongling family was strong. Furthermore, this Dongling Yu was the 7th young master of the Dongling clan. Although Dongling Yu was not ambitious in the Dongling clan, he was still a top-notch genius. Young master, how are you? When Asen woke up, his entire body seemed to have fallen apart. Before he could react to everything that had happened just now, a few of his martial arts grandmasters had actually been slapped down. Seeing Dongling Yu lying on the ground, they were instantly shocked. If Dongling Yu died, they would be finished. Damn it, you actually dare to hit me. I'm going to cripple him. Dongling Yu stood up and revealed a cold expression. He had never suffered such a loss before. Even those martial monarchs in the past would be wary of the Dongling clan and give him face. Alright, this young master will let you fight. You can try. Li Lingtian walked down step by step with a smile on his face. He grabbed with one hand and tossed 10 medium spiritual stones to the shop assistant. He didn't stop and directly walked towards Dongling Jade. He was already lucky that he didn't kill him with a single palm strike. At that time, Li Lingtian wanted to kill these pieces of trash, but he remembered that he had to stay in Qinglan City. Otherwise, he would not have held back. You, what do you want to do? When Dongling Yu saw Li Lingtian approaching, a chill ran down his spine. He felt a deep fear for the young man before him. She subconsciously retreated, her expression constantly changing. Trash. Li Lingtian dragged Ji Yi and Qing Ling out without even sparing Dongling a glance. Soon, the 3 of them disappeared into the crowd, leaving Dongling Yu and the others in the restaurant. Li Lingtian and the other 2 quickly forgot about the little incident as they strolled toward their own mansion. When they returned to the mansion, the sky was already dark. Li Lingtian asked Qing Ling to prepare some hot water. After refining the elixir, he got used to cleaning his aura. The 2 of them fought in the pool. Li Lingtian looked at Qing Ling, who was sound asleep beside him. He was half lying on the bed as he thought of the super powerhouses on the platform today. An alchemist grand meeting actually attracted so many super powerhouses. It was really a little inconceivable. Moreover, even the saint alchemists and those supreme realm experts were here. From the discussions of those martial artists on the square, this alchemy grand meeting was countless times grander than before. In the past, only some martial emperors and a few martial honors participated. However, this time, there were more than 100 martial honors. Li Lingtian could not help but be suspicious of this lineup. No matter if there is a conspiracy, it has nothing to do with me. Li Lingtian glanced at Qing Ling with a faint smile on his lips before he fell asleep quietly. The next day, when Li Lingtian and the others arrived at the plaza, it was already packed with people. Yesterday afternoon, the servants in the mansion had been paying attention to the name on the announcement board, which was the name of the second round of the competition. The servants in the mansion were excited when they saw Li Lingtian's name on the bulletin board. Sir Lingtian. Sir Lingtian. When he arrived at the plaza, many warriors greeted Li Lingtian when he passed by them. Li Lingtian was puzzled as well. It did not seem right that so many people knew him. Young master, you refined a peerless pill yesterday afternoon. Countless people have already recognized you. One of the servants stepped forward and spoke softly when he saw Li Lingtian's expression. His tone was filled with admiration and respect. This was a peerless grade pill after all. When Li Lingtian arrived, some of the warriors on the platform could not help but glance at him. The second round of the competition has begun. There are a total of 830 people participating in the competition today. In the first round of the competition, 98 people have refined a high-grade Peiyuan pill, and one person has refined a legendary peerless pill. One hope that you will continue to work hard and bring glory to the Tao of Alchemy. The second round will be a Tier 2 spirit binding pill. The duration will be 1 hour. Seeing that everyone had arrived, the Eastern Tomb Mutian announced loudly. The pill refiners who were participating in the competition also gathered in a place, preparing to compete. More than 800 people. This time, the same 500 people would compete once. More than 800 people would only need to compete twice to complete the competition. Li Lingtian was not at the front either. Instead, he was in the second round. Seeing that Li Lingtian did not enter, Dongling stayed behind as well. He wanted to see how Li Lingtian managed to refine a supreme grade pill. Not only Dongling but countless other alchemists had also stayed behind. It was not easy to gain any experience in alchemy. Li Lingtian must have some secret to be able to refine a supreme grade pill. Encountering such a figure who could refine peerless grade medicinal pills, he naturally would not miss the opportunity. Li Lingtian sat cross-legged and ignored the alchemists. He realized that these alchemists were all at least martial arts grandmasters. The time spent meditating and cultivating was very fast. After an hour, the first 500 people had already finished refining pills. Most of the pill refiners had regretful expressions on their faces. Only a small number of pill refiners had smiles on their faces. I hope that you will still have such good luck to refine a peerless medicinal pill. Dongling walked past Li Lingtian with a look of disdain on his face. He had been under Li Lingtian's shadow for the entire night and could only treat the pill as luck. Otherwise, no one in the Azure continent had ever concocted a peerless pill in the past tens of thousands of years. Even a saint alchemist had never concocted a peerless pill. No matter how powerful this young man's alchemy skills were, he would never be able to concoct a peerless pill. The only thing he could do was to be a little lucky. With this temperament, you don't have the qualifications to be a qualified alchemist. Li Lingtian smiled as he replied indifferently. His words shocked countless alchemists. With this temperament, you don't have the qualifications to be a qualified alchemist. This simple sentence shocked all the pill refiners. Indeed, but the state of mind was very important. If he was so frivolous, how could he become an outstanding pill refiner? The alchemists who heard Li Lingtian's words were filled with admiration. Regardless of how the young man refined the peerless grade pill, his temperament was enough to earn respect. Li Lingtian turned around and walked into the alchemy room. It was still the same spot as yesterday, but it was crowded in his place today. Many alchemists looked at Li Lingtian, waiting for him to make his move. However, to the astonishment of all the alchemists, Li Lingtian did not show any signs of attacking. Could it be that he wanted to shorten the time? This thought appeared in everyone's hearts. Refining a grade 2 medicinal pill in an hour was neither too much nor too little. However, for some pill refiners, this was not the time to waste. They all began to prepare to refine pills. Only a few alchemists were looking at Li Lingtian to see how long he would have to wait. Chapter 305, Chapter 305, The Saint Alchemist's Attitude. Chapter 305, The Saint Alchemist's Attitude. Could it be that he wants to shorten the time? It's been 10 minutes. The few spirit alchemists on the platform were surprised to see that Li Lingtian was not prepared to refine pills. After all, This young man was only 18 years old. At 18 years old, he was already a martial arts grandmaster. Such a young man was definitely a top-notch super genius. Those super geniuses might not even be able to obtain the martial arts grandmaster rank in 10 years, let alone this young man who was distracted by alchemy. The cultivation time was reduced. If this young man was an alchemy grandmaster, they would still dare to believe that he could shorten the time. After all, there had never been an alchemy grandmaster at the age of 18. In the place where the pill was concocted, there were crystals that were specially used to test the cultivation and age of the pill refiner. This information had to be tabulated. Looks like you're very confident. I hope that the young man will be calm and not rash. Let's see how much time he can take to refine a Tier 2 medicinal pill this time. There shouldn't be any other peerless products, right? Refining a high-grade Tier 2 medicinal pill is already very powerful. Countless warriors were in a heated discussion. The appearance of a peerless pill had made countless warriors recognize Li Lingtian and made him the center of attention. However, to the disappointment of countless warriors, Li Lingtian did not wait long before he started refining pills. Li Lingtian opened his eyes and released his divine consciousness. The heaven and earth creation cauldron appeared in his hand. A blazing flame appeared, and the cauldron floated in the air, warming it. One after another, he performed the cauldron-warming magic arts. His technique was still so familiar that it dazzled people. Countless alchemists relaxed their astonished expressions when they saw Li Lingtian start refining pills. Li Lingtian began refining pills 10 minutes later. It seemed that he was pressed for time. This lowered Li Lingtian's status in their hearts by quite a bit. Hence, they began to refine without looking at Li Lingtian. However, countless warriors were surprised to see Li Lingtian using his own flames instead of the geocentric flame. Warming the cauldron, selecting the herbs, placing the herbs, all the procedures were extremely familiar. However, the spirit alchemists and powerhouses on the platform were shocked by the speed at which Li Lingtian placed the medicinal ingredients and the various techniques he used. With such speed, it would not take long for the pills to be refined. Pill completed. Collect the pills. The cauldron opened and a stream of light shot out. Li Lingtian extended his hand and a jade bottle appeared. The light entered the jade bottle. Warming the cauldron, selecting the medicinal herbs, and placing them in. Pill completed. Collect the pills. Pill completed. Collect the pills. All the martial artists, all the alchemists, and the experts and spirit alchemists on the high platform were already numb. Unexpectedly, Li Lingtian had refined 4 cauldrons of elixirs consecutively after resting for 10 minutes in the first hour. With this speed, he only used 120% of each cauldron. After the 4th cauldron was refined, he put away the cauldron and handed a bottle of pills to the alchemist at the door. Then, he turned around and left. After an unknown amount of time, all the alchemists and ancient martial art practitioners finally came to their senses. This young man had actually refined several times more pills than others in the same amount of time. Moreover, his concentration and confidence when refining pills, as well as his technique that was as smooth as flowing water, conquered all the martial artists and alchemists. Was this still alchemy? This was clearly mass production. Countless martial artists had the same thought in their hearts. This was not alchemy at all, but mass production. By the time Li Lingtian returned to Ji in Qing Ling's side, the alchemy session was finally over. All the alchemists looked at Li Lingtian numbly. It was torture to refine pills with this esteemed alchemist. He could concoct pills as if no one else was around, but the other pill refiners could not help but watch. This time around, hundreds of alchemists failed due to Li Lingtian's influence. The second round of the competition has ended. The results are displayed on the announcement board. The third round of the competition will begin tomorrow. After all the pill refiners came out, the Eastern Tomb Mutian announced loudly. However, after this announcement, not a single martial artist left. On the contrary, they were waiting for something even more expectantly. Li Lingtian was also dragged by Qing Ling to stay behind and wait for the results to be announced. I don't believe that he can refine a peerless pill. Looking at his speed, even if it's not a peerless pill, as long as he can refine an ordinary pill, it'll be heaven-defying. Who can refine 4 cauldrons of pills in an hour without stopping? Actually, he doesn't just refine 4 cauldrons an hour, but 5 cauldrons. Because he didn't refine pills in the first 10 minutes, he came out in the next 2 minutes. In the first 10 minutes, he was just playing with other butts. I see. Refining 5 cauldrons of medicinal pills in an hour. This is really heaven-defying. The plaza was abuzz with discussions. The countless warriors around Li Lingtian automatically gave way. All the experts were waiting for the judges. In fact, even a high-grade second-grade medicinal pill and a peerless medicinal pill were useless to a martial emperor or a martial supreme. However, this peerless medicinal pill represented a legend. The judges were quick as they were eager to see if Li Lingtian's pills were successful or not. After all, Li Lingtian's refining speed was too fast. Time passed by second by second. Countless martial artists watched as the 11 spirit alchemists continuously evaluated the pills. They waited until their hearts were burning with anger, but they did not dare to say it out loud. Finally, all the warriors saw the change in the expression on the face of a spirit alchemist. At that moment, everyone held their breath as they waited for the alchemists to be shocked. They could also find out if the pill was refined by Li Lingtian, and they were even more curious to know if the pill was successfully refined. Li Lingtian's pills. The spirit alchemist who had a change in expression calmed himself down and spoke. Instantly, all the warriors' hearts skipped a beat. It was really Li Lingtian who had refined the elixir. Next, the 11 pill refiners evaluated the pills in the jade bottle. There were a total of 83 pills. A peerless medicinal pill. Supreme grade spirit binding pill. A peerless quality second grade spirit binding pill. A few spirit alchemists exclaimed. They were already shocked to see a first grade pill being refined into a peerless grade. They didn't expect a second grade pill to also be of peerless quality. What did this mean? This young man's alchemy skills had already surpassed that of a Tier 3 alchemy grandmaster. This was because even a Tier 3 alchemy grandmaster was unable to refine a peerless medicinal pill. Let alone an alchemy grandmaster, even a saint alchemy master was unable to do so. This symbol represented a miracle of alchemy. That's right. A second-grade spirit-binding pill, a peerless medicinal pill, 83 pills. It's a miracle. Grandmaster Yun Yuan sighed helplessly. He was a saint alchemist, and his several hundred years of alchemy Dao had actually been dealt a blow in front of a young man's pills. 83 pills per cauldron. All of them are peerless. This is too heaven-defying. Doesn't this mean that he refined over 300 peerless thawing spirit pills within an hour? This is too terrifying. Even a saint alchemist wouldn't be able to refine 83 pills. Tens of thousands of martial artists and hundreds of martial honors and martial emperors on the high platform were shocked at this moment. Although many experts didn't know about alchemy, they had never seen a peerless pill in the history of the divine martial continent. They knew how precious pills were, and the status of alchemists was extraordinary. Sir Ling Tian, please move. One would like to know the quality of the other 3 bottles of pills. At that moment, Alchemy Saint Yunyuan shouted in Li Lingtian's direction, which surprised all the warriors. They wondered what the alchemy saint was planning. A young man who could be addressed as Your Excellency by a pill saint master. What did this mean? It meant that even a pill saint master had taken a fancy to this young man's identity. Li Lingtian shook his head and strolled toward the platform. Greetings, alchemy saint. Li Lingtian had a confident expression on his face. His expression was neither respectful or humble when he faced alchemy saint Yunyuan. He merely showed his due respect and showed no fear. Not bad, not bad. Can I take a look at the other 3 cauldrons of pills you just refined? Apothecary Yunyuan was extremely satisfied with Li Lingtian's performance. After saying not bad one twice, she finally asked Li Lingtian in a pleading tone. This situation stunned countless powerhouses. This was the high and mighty Saint Alchemist. Even in front of a martial emperor, he was high and mighty. However, they did not expect him to be so approachable in front of a young man without putting on any airs. Of course. Li Lingtian was even more ruthless. He uttered these 2 words with a carefree expression. With a flick of his divine consciousness, he took out the pill that he had just refined. He handed the 3 jade bottles to Grandmaster Yun Yuan and walked down the stage without stopping. That's right. The quality of the 4 cauldrons of pills is exactly the same. They are all peerless pills. Yun Yuansheng carefully checked the pills in the 3 jade bottles and remembered the number. Then, he handed the 3 jade bottles to the other spirit alchemists. The other spirit alchemists also checked again. The pills were still warm and had just been refined. 4 cauldrons of pills, a total of 331 pills. They are all of the best quality. Tianmu of the Eastern Tomb announced loudly. His heart was filled with shock, and a killing intent rose in his heart. If he wasn't used by the Dongling clan, he would be wiped out. On the high platform and in the middle of the square, all the experts, martial artists, and alchemists were once again shocked. What kind of people were these? Refining so many medicinal pills in an hour, and the quality was all peerless. Could it be that they were born to create shock? These pills are for you. Li Lingtian led Ji and Qingling out of the plaza slowly. He ignored the shock and excitement in the plaza as he spoke indifferently. Instantly, all the martial artists were once again speechless and shocked. A peerless medicinal pill was given to someone just like that. A few hundred of them, and he did not even blink. Instantly, all the martial artists revealed looks of anticipation. If they obtained a peerless medicinal pill, they could treat it as a souvenir. If the disciple of a martial warrior or martial spirit had such a pill, his cultivation would improve greatly. Li Lingtian left the plaza in shock and headed to his mansion with the 2 little beauties. Isn't it just a peerless grade thawing spirit pill? Li Lingtian muttered to himself. If this peerless spirit binding pill was so shocking, he would not dare to refine the peerless violet jade pill in the future. The 2 little beauties did not feel anything. In their eyes, there was nothing that could stump Li Lingtian. The masterpieces that appeared in Li Lingtian's hands were all natural. At that moment, Li Lingtian's heart skipped a beat as a dangerous omen appeared. The omen was fleeting and he almost ignored it. He was stunned as he did not know what danger was waiting for him. Chapter 306, Chapter 306, Assassination. Chapter 306, Assassination. Sensing the danger lurking in his heart, Li Lingtian was on high alert. With a calm expression on his face, he led Qingling and Ji toward the mansion. He circulated his true essence to the limit. As long as there was danger, he would send out a fatal blow and kill the other party. Ji, come, this is for you. You cling to me every day, one really want to throw it away. Li Lingtian tossed Little White over and sent his consciousness into Little White's awareness. In fact, he did not need to tell Little White that it was in danger. Big brother, Xiao Bai is so obedient. If you don't want it, you can give it to me. Ji looked at Little White in his arms. Its ruby-like eyes were extremely charming. You go first for a few days. This guy only knows how to eat, drink, and sleep. Qingling, this is for you. Li Lingtian called out the silver-winged flying dragon as well. However, the silver-winged flying dragon was only a small one. Although it was bigger than Little White, it looked like a small pet. Thank you, young master. Qingling was stunned. After following Li Lingtian for so long, she naturally knew the young master's personality. Something must have happened or he would not have brought out the silver-winged flying dragon. Li Lingtian was extremely pleased with the smile on his face that did not show on his face. It's still early. Why don't we go outside and take a walk before coming back? Li Lingtian smiled. The two little beauties were more excited than anyone else when it came to playing. He was not worried that they would not agree to it. As expected, both of them were elated when they heard that Li Lingtian was going to play. Naturally, he could not bring these dangers into his residence. It was better to resolve them outside. Soon, the three of them arrived at a park. At this time, the sky had darkened and no one came here to play. At that moment, a destructive pressure came crashing down from the sky. It was so terrifying that even Li Lingtian, a Tier 9 martial arts grandmaster, felt his heart palpitate. A young man appeared in his divine sense. After the destructive pressure, a pillar of death bombarded down. Sword howl, heaven and earth. A cruel smile appeared on Li Lingtian's face. With a flick of his divine consciousness, the cosmic sword appeared in his hand. With a wave of his hand, the cosmic sword drew a sword beam that tore through space and clashed with the light beam in the sky. Huh. The young man didn't expect the other party to react so quickly. This reaction clearly showed that the other party had already known of his existence and was just playing along. Crash. The beam of light and the sword radiance cancelled each other out. Li Lingtian extended his hands and unleashed ice, fire, 9 heavens. Under the circumstances where he was on guard, he caught the other party off guard. Ice, fire, 9 heavens, extinction. Li Lingtian shot a disdainful glance at the young man in the air. The young man's heart sank as he realized that he was really there. He did not expect his sneak attack to be negated by the opponent. A moment of miscalculation had caused him to lose the initiative. Sensing the aura of extermination in the air, his heart trembled. Such a terrifying attack was not something that a martial arts grandmaster could unleash. Heaven-grade divine ability. Light shadow cross kill. The young man cried out in horror. His heart sank when he realized that Li Lingtian was using a heaven-grade superpower. He then cast the forbidden spell of a martial honor. Even if he used a forbidden technique, he did not feel the slightest sense of security. This was because the power of a heaven-grade divine power was simply unimaginable. His supreme realm taboo did not dare to compete with a heaven-grade divine power. Boom! In an instant, their attacks collided with a loud explosion and a shocking force soared into the sky. In a flash, Li Lingtian disappeared. There was no longer any aura in the space as if Li Lingtian had never appeared. Qing Ling and Ji Yi watched from afar. Their faces were calm, without any nervousness or worry. This scene stunned the young man in the air. He reached out to wipe away the blood from the corner of his mouth. His face was deathly pale as his divine perception searched around, but he could not find any trace of Li Lingtian. Li Lingtian's destructive attack was so powerful that even he was injured. Fortunately, he had cast a forbidden defense spell at the end or he would have been killed in one hit. At this moment, he no longer dared to underestimate Li Lingtian. Instead, a trace of fear appeared in his heart. If he attacked head-on, he would also be injured. If he attacked secretly, he would not be confident in catching it. Die. At that moment, Li Lingtian's voice came from the east as an attack came crashing down. The young man was shocked. He launched an attack from all over his body, but his expression changed drastically. This was because a cold aura had appeared behind him. The moment this aura appeared, his entire body was frozen. It was as if his entire body was burning. However, he did not feel the burning sensation. Instead, a burning sensation appeared in his body. Moreover, the attack that he had unleashed had easily dispersed the opponent's attack. No matter how stupid he would understand that the previous attack was only a trap. The real attack was behind him, but he did not expect the other party to be so fast. He crossed the space without making a sound. Crash. Li Lingtian's figure appeared and he returned to Ji Yi's side. The young man fell to the ground. His face was filled with fear and pain. Because his entire body was burning with a bluish-purple flame, and this flame was burning from the inside out. Ice flame. A terrified voice came from the young man. The ice frost flame was naturally known by martial honors. It was the natural enemy of a martial-honored realm expert. It could completely destroy a martial-honored realm expert's vital essence, blood essence, and meridians. Speak, who sent you here? Li Lingtian stared coldly at the young man. The ball of frost flame in his hand was constantly changing its shape. The smile on his face grew wider as he walked toward the young man. Since they came to assassinate him, he must know the person behind the scenes. It was just that he did not know who he had offended to actually come to assassinate him. You don't dare to kill me. Otherwise, you will die without a burial place. The young man spoke in a cold voice. His entire body's vital energy and blood essence had been completely incinerated, but he was worried that Li Lingtian would use some strange means. If that happened, he would be in a state worse than death. One won't kill you for now. You are still useful. There is no one in this world that I don't dare to kill. Eye of the Divine Soul. Li Lingtian activated his divine consciousness and a blood-red three-petaled lotus appeared between his brows. A destructive divine consciousness blasted out and destroyed the young man's divine consciousness. The power of devouring was unleashed. In the blink of an eye, the young man's face revealed a painful expression. In the end, his eyes turned ashen. The icy frost flames left the young man as well. The young man's entire body turned into dust and was completely devoured by the icy frost flames. The Queen's Palace's eldest princess. Li Lingtian muttered to himself with a grave expression on his face. A figure appeared in his mind and he wondered how she was doing. He did not expect that the person who had tried to assassinate him would be someone from the Queen's Palace. Moreover, it was the eldest princess. Big brother, what's wrong? Ji noticed Li Lingtian's expression. It was the first time he had seen his big brother so serious. He wondered what trouble he had encountered. Qingling was also looking at Li Lingtian curiously. She wanted to know what trouble the young master was in. Let's talk when we get back. Li Lingtian was in a bad mood. Shun Mei's departure was due to his lack of strength. Otherwise, he would have been able to protect his woman. As for Tang Zimeng, if he was truly powerful, he would not have to worry about that god's wrath. Tang Qingyue wouldn't have been taken away by the Azure Continent's experts, and Maple Leaf Manor wouldn't have been destroyed. All of this was because of strength. Without strength, there was only death in this world. Ji and Qingling did not speak anymore. They obediently followed Li Lingtian to the mansion. After returning to the mansion, Li Lingtian explained his background, including Yun Yaoyao, Tang Zimeng, Tang Qingyue, and Shun Mei. The two girls were shocked. They did not expect Li Lingtian's life to be filled with ups and downs that no one dared to imagine. It was no wonder that Li Lingtian possessed such heaven-defying strength. He had risked his life to obtain all of these. On the other hand, they did not feel jealous of the girls around Li Lingtian. Instead, they felt sorry for him. In the world of the divine martial continent, the strong reigned supreme. It was common for powerful warriors to have multiple wives and concubines. There was no woman who would not fall for a heaven-defying talent like Li Lingtian. In the middle of the night, Li Lingtian felt a chill as he watched the two girls snuggle up to him. He called Ji back to sleep. Li Lingtian returned to his room alone. Qingling did not follow him as she knew that her young master needed to calm down. In his room, Li Lingtian cultivated for the whole night. He had already decided that he would cultivate seriously after the alchemist meet to improve his cultivation base so that he could go to Dishi family. The Dishi family was powerful, but they couldn't be compared with the Queen's Palace. With his current power, he could only take a risk in the Dishi family. He wanted to go to the Queen's Palace as well, but not now. The night passed by quietly. On the second day, Li Lingtian had a faint smile on his face. Things would come as they should. There was no point in worrying about it. The only thing he could do was to improve himself and face all the challenges. After breakfast, Li Lingtian brought Qing Ling and Ji Yi to the plaza at a moderate pace. On this day, however, countless warriors and alchemists greeted Li Lingtian politely with smiles on their faces. Even some martial emperors nodded in greeting. Now, he was a figure that everyone knew. Although he had only refined a second-grade medicinal pill, it was a legendary miracle that he had refined a peerless medicinal pill. Li Lingtian arrived at the plaza and sat in his usual spot as he waited for the competition to begin. Today is the third round of the competition. The number of participants is 420. Yesterday, 46 people refined a high-grade medicinal pill, and one person refined a peerless medicinal pill. The medicinal pill that we are going to compete with today is also an ordinary void spirit pill, a tier 3 void spirit pill. Dongling Mutian announced loudly with a faint smile on his face, as if he had seen the future of alchemy. Li Lingtian looked at the representative from the Queen's Palace on the high platform. His face was expressionless. It seemed like he was still upset about his subordinate's death yesterday. The competition begins now. Mutian of the Eastern Tomb said indifferently. Countless pill refiners walked into the pill refining room. Chapter 307, Chapter 307, Array Dao and Pill Dao. Chapter 307, Array Dao and Pill Dao. 420 people would be participating in the third round of the competition. This time, the competition would also be divided into two batches. Li Lingtian did not participate in the first round just like last time. Actually, he didn't care about this kind of competition at all. Instead, he was challenging himself and letting him refine pills in an uneasy environment. This could also be used to hone his mind. Li Lingtian noticed that no one was paying attention to the previous matches. The third round of the competition was 2 hours long. After 2 hours, Li Lingtian found a quiet place to sit cross-legged. If he waited for 2 hours, he would get impatient too. However, it was different for him to meditate. It was just a matter of 2 great qi circulations. His cultivation had improved, and his mental state had recovered to its peak. This was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Countless warriors were waiting in boredom. Finally, time passed, and the alchemists walked out one by one. This time, the alchemists who came out were all smiling. If they succeeded in concocting pills in 2 hours, they could also become alchemy grandmasters and receive the badge of the Alchemist Guild. When Li Lingtian entered, all the warriors, powerhouses, and alchemists on the high platform had their attention on the crystal. This was because they wanted to see what was different about Li Lingtian's alchemy techniques. He had actually managed to refine 2 types of peerless pills. He was even more curious about whether he could succeed today. As long as he succeeded, he would become an alchemy grandmaster, and the most magical alchemy grandmaster. When Li Lingtian entered the apothecary hall, he was still the same apothecary. However, it was much more spacious now. With more than 200 people refining pills, the place was much wider. Li Lingtian shook his head disappointedly as he watched the alchemists refine pills. This was because the refining methods of these alchemists were all the same. Then, he began to take out his medicinal herbs and choose them at a moderate pace. This time, the number of medicinal herbs was sorted out in one go. He calculated the time. When he refined pills in the past, it took about 15 minutes for a third-grade pill. Now, he could refine 6 or 7 cauldrons of pills in 2 hours. 6 cauldrons worth of medicinal herbs had been prepared. Countless alchemists were stunned when they saw the medicinal herbs beside Li Lingtian. Could it be that he had to refine so many pills? Outside, all the warriors were shocked by the medicinal herbs around Li Lingtian. The amount of medicinal ingredients is 6 cauldrons. Could it be that you want to refine 6 cauldrons of grade 3 medicinal pills in 2 hours? That's impossible, right? It should be to prevent failure and prepare the medicinal ingredients to refine it directly. Just wait and see. I hope that this trip will be a miracle and that one will be able to refine a grade 3 medicinal pill. This aura has completely formed his own world. The outside world can't disturb him at all. Some powerhouses started discussing Li Lingtian's appearance and the medicinal herbs around him. In front of such a competition, not only did he not feel the slightest pressure, but he also treated it as a game and did not take it to heart at all. Forget it. I'll leave after refining these medicinal ingredients. Li Lingtian looked at the medicinal herbs he had arranged beside him. With a flick of his divine consciousness, the heaven and earth creation cauldron appeared before him. With a swipe of his hand, the air trembled. He flipped his 10 fingers and cast spells one after another. Immediately, a grid of light appeared in the air, and the heaven and earth creation cauldron was suspended on this grid. Following that, Li Lingtian unleashed his flaming power. A terrifying flaming power raised the temperature of the entire alchemist's body as the cauldron spun continuously. The expressions of the experts outside changed drastically. Even Pill Master Yun Yuansheng almost cried out in surprise because he saw an unbelievable scene. The integration of the array Dao into the pill Dao is indeed not simple. Alchemist Yun Yuan couldn't help but feel shocked as he muttered to himself. He had seen this scene before. It was an 8th-level alchemist in the immortal realm who had mastered this technique. He used the power of the array Dao to maintain the circulation of the alchemy Dao, and the quality of the pill was also extremely good. This pill refinement technique was famous in the immortal realms. However, the number of people who mastered this technique did not exceed 3. He did not expect this young man to be so familiar with this technique. Could it be that this technique had long been mastered by him? This was impossible, right? Even if he was an alchemy saint and a martial honor, he could not grasp it at all. Array Dao. Could he be an array master? Only a formation master can control such a skilled technique. If he really is an array master, then it's unimaginable. Although the few super experts didn't understand alchemy, they understood arrays very well. This was a magical existence that surpassed power. An array master could kill you without anyone noticing. Moreover, martial artists were completely helpless against such an array. As the warriors discussed, they looked at the image on the crystal. They saw Li Lingtian warming the cauldron and placing the herbs in. Everything was done smoothly. Moreover, his current technique was more elegant than the previous 2 times. It was like a beautiful art, and his 10 fingers were like butterflies flipping flowers. The grid also trembled along with his 10 fingers, and the pill cauldron continued to rotate. 10 minutes later, Li Lingtian's fingers moved faster and the cauldron gradually quieted down. Pill completed. Collect the pills. With a flash of light, Li Lingtian extended his hand and a jade bottle was waiting for him. In the blink of an eye, the light entered the jade bottle. He closed the jade bottle. The grid in his hand was still trembling, and the cauldron was also spinning. This time, Li Lingtian did not even bother to warm the cauldron. This was because the cauldron had just started refining pills and the temperature was controlled by the array Dao. This method of fusing array path with alchemy path was also a method of ancient alchemy techniques. The first cauldron should be a success. He's going to continue refining the second cauldron. What a magical pill concocting genius. This saves a lot of time. One really don't know how he came up with this. I really don't need to heat the cauldron anymore. I can directly refine the pill. Although this kind of pill refinement technique is exquisite, it consumes a lot of energy. The experts outside began to comment seriously, pointing out some of the flaws in the pill refinement. Such serious comments had never happened in countless alchemist gatherings. Inside, Li Lingtian successfully refined the first cauldron of pills and proceeded with the second cauldron. Time passed quickly. By the time Li Lingtian was refining the 6th cauldron of pills, the other alchemists had already left. Only 34 alchemists were left watching Li Lingtian's refinement from a distance. Their faces were filled with shock. This was because Li Lingtian's technique was beyond their imagination. They had never thought of combining array Dao and alchemy Dao. Then, he understood that even if he knew this method, it was impossible for him to cultivate the array Dao. The array Dao was the same as the alchemy Dao. Both required heaven-defying talent. Collect the pills. 15 minutes had passed. Li Lingtian's face showed signs of fatigue as he put the pills into the jade bottle and stood up. He cast a few spells with one hand and put away the heaven and earth creation cauldron. The array formation disappeared and the temperature in the alchemist room returned to normal. Li Lingtian casually left a bottle of pills behind and walked out. He returned to Ji and Qing Ling's side and began to sit cross-legged to rest. After 2 hours of continuous refining, he had consumed a lot of energy to refine 6 cauldrons of pills. If he went all out, he could completely refine 8 cauldrons of medicinal pills. However, he did not want to go all out now. A 6th-grade medicinal pill was considered passable. Pill refinement is over. The 4th round of the competition will begin tomorrow. Please pay attention to the announcement board. Let's see everyone's results for today's 3rd-grade medicinal pills. The Eastern Tomb Mutian directly announced. He also knew that no one would leave this place. Rather than being shocked alone, it was better for everyone to be shocked. That way, he wouldn't be at a disadvantage. Li Lingtian closed his eyes and meditated, ignoring the gazes of all the warriors. All the warriors waited quietly. After the first 2 rounds, it had become a habit for them to wait for Li Lingtian's results to see if he was a success, a failure, or a high-level elixir. This time, they did not dare to imagine that it was a peerless-grade medicinal pill. This was because a 3rd-grade medicinal pill was important. Even if it was refined into a high-grade medicinal pill, it would still be powerful. If a peerless-grade medicinal pill appeared, they would not dare to imagine such a result. As you've expected, Li Lingtian has successfully refined a grade 3 pill. However, you might be wrong. This tier 3 void spirit pill is of the highest quality. This time, Dongling Mutian did not announce it. Instead, it was alchemist Yunyuan Saint who spoke and revealed the quality of Li Lingtian's pills. He was shocked in his heart. What was this young man made of? Why was the quality of the pills he refined peerless? Was there any justice in this world? Even if he was a saint alchemist, he might not be able to casually refine high-grade medicinal pills. He had never dared to imagine a peerless medicinal pill. A peerless void spirit pill. A top-grade void spirit pill is equivalent to a tier 4 medicinal pill. Even a tier 4 pill can't compare to a tier 3 void spirit pill. Even a warrior. Spirit or warrior king can only use tier 3 pills. They don't dare to use tier 4 pills easily. If it has the quality of a tier 3 void spirit pill, then it's neither a martial king nor a martial spirit. It's not a straight line increase in cultivation, and there won't be any side effects. That's right. Martial kings can use 4th grade elixirs to increase their cultivation, but the side effects are very serious. Moreover, it's not as effective as a top-grade void spirit pill. Countless martial artists and super experts were incomparably shocked. They could not help but discuss with the other experts. The peerless quality of a first-grade medicinal pill was a blessing for martial artists' disciples. The peerless quality of a tier 2 spirit binding pill was the blessing of a warrior spirit disciple. The quality of a peerless tier 3 void spirit pill was the blessing of a martial king expert. If there was such a pill, using a pill of the same cultivation level would be equivalent to using a more precious pill of a higher cultivation level. For example, when a martial king used a supreme grade void spirit pill, its power and effect would be much better than a 4th grade purple jade pill. Amidst the shock, Li Lingtian opened his eyes. He adjusted his breathing and regained a lot of his energy. Besides, this was not a place for cultivation. He could only rest when he returned home. This young master doesn't need these pills. You can take them. Li Lingtian's divine consciousness moved and he took out the pills he had just refined. With a wave of his hand, hundreds of pills flew into the air. Immediately, a suction force appeared in the air and all the warriors snatched the pills from the air. All the martial artists were stunned. The martial artists who had obtained the medicinal pill were all incomparably excited. The quality of a peerless Tier 3 Void Spirit pill was definitely a treasure-like existence. When the pill was distributed, all the experts on the high platform were stunned. This was a top-grade Void Spirit pill. With their status, although they would not use this pill, if they gave it to their juniors, it would definitely be useful. However, due to their status, it was not good to compete with these disciples. They could only watch helplessly as countless martial artists competed for the pill, Chapter 308, Chapter 308, The Final Competition, 1. Chapter 308, The Final Competition, 1. After the competition ended, Li Lingtian brought Ge and the other man back to the mansion. He completely ignored the commotion outside. Even the servants in the mansion were extremely excited. They had never imagined that their young master was a miraculous pill refiner who could refine peerless pills. Li Lingtian returned to his room and sat cross-legged before he began cultivating. He had slacked off on some of his skills and cultivation techniques during the past few days of competition. This was not a good sign. He had to cultivate his skills and cultivation techniques again. However, it was useless to cultivate the Heaven and Earth reincarnation technique now because he had already reached the peak of rank 9 martial arts grandmaster and was only one step away from martial emperor. He was waiting for an opportunity to use the limitless Dao fruit to break through. He originally planned to refine the limitless Dao fruit into a medicinal pill, but looking at the situation now, it was already impossible. He did not know how long he would have to wait until he found other medicinal herbs to refine the medicinal pill. Now, countless dangers and spearheads were gradually pointing at him. If he did not raise his cultivation, it would be difficult for him to control his life and death. On the fourth day of the competition, Li Lingtian used the same method to refine a cauldron of supreme-grade purple jade pills in 3 hours. 3 hours. According to his speed, he should be able to refine 7 or 8 cauldrons of 4th-grade medicinal pills in 3 hours without a problem. However, he had cultivated for more than 2 hours in front of countless experts and alchemists, and his cultivation had improved even more. Cultivating under the gaze of tens of thousands of martial artists completely made everyone speechless. But in the last half an hour, he easily refined a cauldron of 4th-grade medicinal pills. The peerless purple jade pill shocked everyone. Qinglan City was shaken. The peerless purple jade pill was no longer something that could be compared to Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 pills. This was because the higher the tier of the pill, the more difficult it was to refine. It was unexpected that Li Lingtian had managed to refine the peerless purple jade pill so easily. This time, even the martial emperors and martial supremes did not dare to underestimate Li Lingtian. He was an alchemist who could refine a supreme-grade purple jade pill. Could it be that such an alchemist could only refine level 4 pills? At the very least, he could refine level 5 pills. Even if he couldn't refine the 5th grade, it was only a matter of time because this youth was only 18 years old. Amidst the shocked discussions, Li Lingtian leisurely returned to his mansion and waited for the final match. The alchemist judges also announced the final spots for the competition. The 4th day of the competition was for Tier 4 medicinal pills. Tier 4 medicinal pills were for Tier 4 alchemy grandmasters. Tier 4 alchemy grandmasters were already few in number. Furthermore, within 3 hours, there were also quite a number of failures. More importantly, the last day of the competition was for a 5th-grade pill, which meant that they were spirit alchemists. In other words, only those who had previously refined a grade 5 medicinal pill would have the guts to attempt it. There were only 16 people who entered the 5th round. 16 people, which meant that 16 of them might be spirit alchemists. Even if they weren't, there was still hope for them to try. Li Lingtian had entered the 5th round and did not give up, which shocked everyone even more. Could it be that this young man was an alchemist? This question lingered in the minds of all the warriors. Furthermore, there was a phenomenon that Li Lingtian was qualified to participate in the 5th round regardless of whether he was a level 4 alchemist grandmaster or a level 5 alchemist. Finally, countless martial artists endured the night and the 5th round of the competition arrived. Early in the morning, there were even more people in the Qinglan Square. This was because today was the final competition and also the last miracle. They wanted to see who would become a spirit alchemist and who would become the king of this competition. Do you think Sir Ling Tian can become a spirit alchemist this time? One don't know if he's an alchemist, but even if he's not, his status isn't inferior to an alchemist. In fact, he's even more popular than an alchemist. I hope one can become an alchemist. When that time comes, there will be another alchemist in Qinglan City. Then, we won't have to listen to the Dongling family anymore. However, looking at the Dongling family, even if he becomes a spirit pill master, they will still pull him into the Dongling family. One don't think so this time. After all, Pill Master Yunyuan is here. Early in the morning, all the warriors began to discuss Li Lingtian. The other powerhouses also came to the platform. Pill Master Yunyuan and the other Pill Masters came to the stage one by one, waiting for the competition to begin. Sir Ling Tian. Greetings, Sir Ling Tian. Good morning, Sir Ling Tian. When Li Lingtian arrived, countless warriors greeted him upon seeing him. Li Lingtian was surprised by the situation. Status was like that. If you had the ability, you would have status. If you did not have the strength, no one would care about a mere Wuzong. As they walked, they nodded and returned the greeting. Soon, they arrived at the place where the competition was held. Qingling and Ji were still watching from their original spot. The three of them had just arrived when a martial monarch powerhouse came. Sir Ling Tian, Sir Pill Master Yunyuan invites the two young ladies. Pill Master Yunyuan said that if the competition is too long, the two ladies can rest there. This way, you can compete in peace. The martial monarch powerhouse greeted Li Lingtian as if he was his peer and spoke indifferently. Go, I'll be out soon. Li Lingtian nodded when he saw Qingling and Ji looking at him. It was only natural for the two beautiful ladies to ask Li Lingtian about their actions. Young master, one wish you success in becoming a spirit pill master. Big brother, you're the best. After the two little girls finished speaking, they followed the martial royal realm powerhouse up the platform. Apothecary Yunyuan nodded at Li Lingtian. This also proved that it was Alchemist Yunyuan who invited the two of them up. If it were not for Alchemist Yunyuan, Li Lingtian would not have allowed Ji and Qingling to go up the platform. If it was a scheme by someone, it would not be a trap. Let the competition begin. The number of people competing today is 16. The time limit is 1 day. The Eastern Tomb Mutian announced loudly. This was the final competition and also the time to verify the spirit pill masters. Naturally, the time was extended. This way, it was enough for the participating pill refiners to refine pills 2 or 3 times. Even if they failed, they would still have a second or third chance. Spirit alchemists were not like alchemy grandmasters. Failure was also a common thing, but if one could refine a tier 5 pill within a day, it would also meet the requirements of a spirit alchemist. Grade 5 pills. You can use them as you wish. The results will be determined by the time, speed, and quality. After the Tianmu of the Eastern Tomb announced the final rules, he waved his hand and a ray of light appeared in the sky. At the same time, the other 10 spirit pill masters also cast a spell. 10 rays of light fused with the light of the Eastern Tomb sky screen. The light in the sky fused, and the space trembled. At this moment, the light pressed down, and the restrictions of the alchemy rooms around the square were opened. The 40-odd alchemy rooms' restrictions were opened at the same time. Li Lingtian and the other 15 people entered one of the alchemy rooms randomly. Once the alchemist entered the alchemy room, the restrictions were closed again. Dongling Mutian and the others also kept their spells. This alchemy room was reinforced with countless restrictions to prevent anyone from disturbing the other party's alchemy. After Li Lingtian entered the elixir refinery room, he saw that everything was available inside. He could rest or refine elixirs. 3 different sized core fires were flickering continuously. Each core fire had a control array disk that could control the strength of the flame. He sat cross-legged and entered a state of emptiness. After an hour, he opened his eyes again. His expression was calm, as if he had already reached the realm of an ancient well without ripples. Refine the Azure Yang pill once. Li Lingtian took out countless types of herbs and chose the best ones. After sorting out the medicinal herbs, the heaven and earth creation cauldron was activated. He kept stirring it with one hand, and the cauldron kept spinning in the air. "Old friend, it's all up to you this time." Li Lingtian muttered to himself as he looked at the heaven and earth creation cauldron seriously. When he was refining a grade 5 pill, his expression was incomparably focused. This was because he could easily refine pills below grade 4, but he could not be careless with a grade 5 pill. Warming the cauldron. One spell after another was executed. The technique changed 108 times, and each spell was a change. As time passed, the temperature of the cauldron had reached the level of refining a tier 5 pill. Li Lingtian's true essence circulated as he grabbed at the air with one hand and a medicinal ingredient entered the cauldron. With his previous experience in refining grade 5 pills, this was not the first time, but the countless times. He was also extremely familiar with refining. On the square outside, not a single martial artist could see the situation inside the alchemy room. Because this was a secret of an alchemist, he would not let others know his secret. This was a design of the pill refining room, so that no alchemist would dare to refine pills in peace. However, all the warriors were waiting patiently because this time, they were witnessing the birth of a spirit alchemist. Even if he couldn't curry favor with the spirit alchemist in the future, he wouldn't offend the other party just because he didn't know the spirit alchemist. As the seconds ticked by, all the warriors grew more and more expectant as they waited for Li Lingtian and the other alchemists to emerge. 3 hours had passed, and not a single pill refiner had left. There was also not a single pill refining room that had spirit energy fluctuations. The refinement of a 5th grade pill required spirit infusion. Without spirit infusion, one would not be able to reach the level of a spirit alchemist, and naturally would not be able to refine a 5th grade pill. However, at this moment, a shocking spiritual energy fluctuation was emitted from one of the alchemy rooms. The direction of the spirit chi fluctuation was coming from Li Lingtian's elixir refinery room. The spirit chi in the room surged rapidly. Spiritual energy fluctuations. It seems that the refining of the 5th grade medicinal pill is at the final juncture. That's right. This is the sign of spirit infusion. The fluctuation of spirit energy proves that it needs a strong supply of spirit energy. He's indeed not simple. He's actually going to infuse his spirit so quickly. One hope that this time, you can give us a surprise. The dozen or so spirit alchemists and Grandmaster Yun Yuan were the first to feel the fluctuation of the spirit chi and were instantly shocked. Following that, the other powerhouses and warriors saw the spirit chi trembling incessantly as it rapidly surged toward Li Lingtian's alchemy room. The spiritual energy distorted and entered the alchemy room at a speed visible to the naked eye. Chapter 309, Chapter 309, Refining a Tier 6 Medicinal Pill. Chapter 309, Refining a Tier 6 Medicinal Pill. Li Lingtian spent more than 2 hours in the elixir refinery room before he finally refined all the herbs into liquid medicine. He extended his divine sense into the cauldron and cast spells one after another, constantly stirring the medicinal liquid, causing it to fuse more perfectly. Li Lingtian's expression turned serious as he watched the liquid in the cauldron solidify. He flicked his finger. With a finger force, he activated the spirit gathering array above the pill refining room. Immediately, a shocking spiritual energy fluctuation appeared, and countless spiritual energies quickly surged into the cauldron. Not enough spiritual energy. Spirit infusion. 10 minutes later, the medicinal liquid in the cauldron kept changing and was almost ready to take shape. Li Lingtian noticed the change in the medicinal liquid and knew that he did not have enough spirit qi. He needed to infuse it with spirit qi. He had tried it before. No matter what kind of medicinal pill it was, when it reached the 5th grade, it had to be infused with spirit. Otherwise, it would only fail. Spirit infusion was the main factor in the quality of pills. The better the control of spirit infusion, the better the quality of the pills refined. This spirit infusion did not mean that the more spirit energy injected, the better. It required a precise degree. He waved his hands and controlled the medicinal liquid in the cauldron while controlling the amount of spiritual energy. At the same time, a shocking spiritual energy was drawn out. The spiritual energy formed a pillar of light that shot into the sky. A 3-meter-wide pillar of light shot out from the sky. Boom! The air trembled rapidly. Wherever the spiritual energy pillar passed, all the spiritual energy was fused together. The pillar of light became larger and larger, and finally rushed to a height of 100 miles. An explosion sounded in the sky, forming a 5-mile-wide halo. Spirit infusion. Spirit infusion. Tens of thousands of warriors looked at the shocking spiritual energy light pillar, staring blankly at the light pillar shooting straight into the 9 heavens. All martial artists understood that this was the spirit infusion used to refine a 5th-grade medicinal pill. It solidified all isons of spiritual qi between heaven and earth together and fused them into the medicinal pill. If he succeeded in this step, the pill would succeed. If he failed, the pill would be destroyed. This is Sir Ling Tian's spirit infusion. Every warrior turned to look at Li Lingtian's alchemy room. The pillar of light was coming from the alchemy room where Li Lingtian was. This light pillar took a full 10 minutes before it slowly disappeared. The disappearing light pillar all entered the alchemy room. Li Lingtian was in the room controlling the spirit qi light pillar in the sky. In the end, the liquid in the cauldron had solidified and the spirit qi light pillar was quickly retracted. After everything was done, he continued to cast the magic art and the solidified liquid in the cauldron automatically formed into pills. Li Lingtian's expression gradually relaxed. Pill completed. Collect the pills. With a soft shout, a string of light shadows appeared in the air from the cauldron. Then, a jade bottle was used to store the medicinal pills. After storing the medicinal pills, he took out one of the medicinal pills and carefully examined it. The light green pill emitted a faint medicinal fragrance. Moreover, the spiritual qi was extremely dense, making people's spirits rise. Sigh, I'm still a little bit away. 99%. I'm just a little bit away. Li Lingtian replied calmly with a look of regret on his face. The time he spent refining pills was still too little. If he spent more time refining Tier 5 pills, the quality of the pills would be raised to 100% purity. By then, they would be peerless grade pills. If someone saw him like this, it would be strange if they didn't beat him up. Other people had yet to succeed in refining a grade 5 medicinal pill, but the high-grade medicinal pill he refined was sighing here. It was just a little bit away from being a peerless grade. Could it be that he didn't succeed? Why aren't you out yet? It seems that the spirit infusion was not successful. Spirit infusion is the easiest step in pill refinement, but it is also the most crucial step. I still have 2 more chances. One hope I can become a spirit alchemist. This speed is too fast. If it was a little slower, I should be able to refine a Tier 5 medicinal pill. Countless powerhouses thought that Li Lingtian had failed the spirit infusion when they saw that he had yet to arrive. However, they did not expect Li Lingtian to be refining pills again. This time, he was refining a Tier 6 cleansing pill that he had never tried before. Warming the cauldron, refining the cauldron with his spiritual energy and Jin Yuan to remove the aura of the pills he had refined before. After a full 10 minutes, there was no longer any aura on the pill cauldron. However, the connection between the pill cauldron and Li Lingtian had become more tacit. After selecting the ingredients, the cauldron floated in the air. This time, it was the fire of the earth's core, so it did not consume true essence. In any case, the 5th grade medicinal pill had already been successfully refined. Even if the 6th grade medicinal pill failed, it could also be treated as an attempt. Countless 1,000-year-old herbs and even 10,000-year-old herbs had been prepared. Moreover, he had even taken out the heavens patching root. The first medicinal herb entered the cauldron and was gradually refined. The second stalk of herb entered the cauldron and was slowly refined. However, Li Lingtian did not let his guard down as this was his first time refining a Tier 6 pill. The medicinal herbs entered the cauldron one by one. Each medicinal herb needed half an hour to be refined. Seconds passed by, and 10 hours passed. 15 pill refiners left the pill refining room one after another, and each of them had a smile on their faces. This smile proved that they had already become spirit alchemists. Even if they couldn't get a ranking, they had become spirit alchemists and received the badge of the Alchemist Guild. However, Li Lingtian's elixir refinery room was the only place that remained quiet. 7 hours ago, Li Lingtian's elixir refinery lab had a spirit inject, but there was no news after that. Based on Li Lingtian's speed, he would rank high if he succeeded. This was because he had performed the spirit infusion very early, a full 5 hours earlier than the other pill refiners. In other words, his speed of refining pills was at least twice that of a spirit alchemist. Could it be that after the spirit infusion failed, he consumed too much energy and couldn't reach the level of spirit infusion? That's possible. After all, refining a Tier 5 pill isn't something an ordinary pill refiner can handle. Every cauldron of pills consumes a lot of energy. This requires a strong cultivation and true qi to support it. Even if he can't become an alchemist this time, his alchemy skills are still one step away from becoming an alchemist. With a peerless pill, even a spirit alchemist wouldn't necessarily be higher than him. Let's wait a little longer. If we can't succeed, we can forget about this competition. After all, the further we go, the more energy we expend, and the lower the success rate of refining pills. The experts on the high platform didn't speak, but the spirit alchemist and the saint alchemist began to discuss. In the end, they unanimously decided that if it didn't work, his qualification would be revoked this time. After successfully refining the 5th grade pill, he would directly prove himself as a spirit alchemist. Spiritual qi fluctuations. A spirit alchemist sensed a slight spirit qi fluctuation. 15 spirit alchemists had already come out except for Li Lingtian. Naturally, the spirit qi fluctuation was caused by Li Lingtian. All the alchemists and warriors turned to look at Li Lingtian's elixir refinery room as the spiritual qi grew stronger. In the air, all the spiritual energy quickly surged over. Moreover, the intensity of the spiritual energy this time was even stronger than the first time. It did not seem to have been exhausted at all. Soon, a shocking pillar of spiritual energy shot into the sky. Boom! The square shook, and the shocking spiritual qi caused the space to tremble and tear. All the spiritual qi surged towards the pillar of light. In the depths of the sky, a 5-mile-wide halo appeared. The halo and the pillar of light continuously absorbed the spiritual qi in the air. 10 minutes later, the spirit qi disappeared again and entered Li Lingtian's elixir refinery room. All of the warriors were looking forward to the success of this pill refinement. This way, they would become the youngest spirit alchemist, an 18-year-old spirit alchemist. Half an hour passed, but there was no movement in the pill refining room. This situation made everyone puzzled. Could it be that it had failed again? However, only Apothecary Yunyuan had a strange expression on his face. No one knew what this expression meant. Without him speaking, no one dared to make a decision. They could only wait. Boom! Another shocking pillar of spiritual energy shot into the sky. This pillar of light was twice as powerful as the first one. In the sky, the halo of spiritual chi had also reached a size of 20 miles. All the spiritual chi quickly condensed. What's going on? Why did he use 2 consecutive spirit injections at the same time? Could it be that he refined 2 cauldrons of pills? Strange, how could such a thing happen? The experts on the high platform and the martial artists in the square were stunned when they saw this pillar of light. They had never heard of such a thing before. However, the expressions of the 10 pill masters and pill master Yunyuan changed drastically. They stared blankly at Li Lingtian's elixir refinery room as well as the astonishing spirit chi beam. 20 minutes passed, and the spirit energy pillar disappeared. It entered the pill refining room again. Boom! An hour later, another pillar of spiritual energy shot into the sky. This pillar of light was twice as large as the previous one, and the halo of spiritual energy in the sky also reached a radius of 40 miles. Boom! 2 hours passed. The 4th pillar of spiritual energy appeared. Boom! 3 hours later, the 5th pillar of spiritual energy appeared. The powerful aura of this pillar of light was enough to shock even a Supreme Realm expert. The halo of spiritual energy in the sky had already reached a radius of 100 miles. Boom! After another 4 hours, the 6th pillar of spiritual energy shot into the sky. When this pillar of spiritual energy appeared, the 10 spirit alchemists suddenly stood up. Even Grandmaster Yun Yuan stood up. Everyone's faces were filled with shock and excitement. Although countless super experts did not know what was going on, they felt that something was wrong when they saw the movements of these spirit alchemists and saint alchemists and thought of this strange spirit chi injection light pillar. The martial artists in the square were also extremely surprised and did not dare to breathe too loudly. Tens of thousands of pairs of eyes looked at the spiritual energy in the air, not daring to make the slightest movement, as if they were worried that if they moved, everything would change. Not only did the light pillar of spiritual energy in the air not disappear, but it also became even more violent. Spiritual energy kept surging over and was finally transmitted into the pill refining room through the light pillar. Rumble. Crash. At this moment, a bolt of lightning appeared in the depths of the sky. The sky became densely covered with dark clouds, as if a storm was about to arrive. Chapter 310, Chapter 310, Pill Tribulation, Breaking Through to the Martial Emperor Realm. Chapter 310, Pill Tribulation, Breaking Through to the Martial Emperor Realm. This scene stunned all the martial artists in the square. He did not expect that such a thing would actually happen when refining medicinal pills. The thunder and lightning in the sky brought traces of fear to the martial artists. Crash. Rumble. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The sky within a radius of 1,000 miles was filled with countless thunderbolts and lightning. All of them entered the spiritual energy light pillar. The electric arc followed the spirit chi light pillar and surged toward Li Lingtian's alchemy room. The light pillar began to distort. Pill Tribulation, it's actually Pill Tribulation. Grandmaster Yun Yuan couldn't help but exclaim. The other spirit pill masters were also stunned. Pill Tribulation. Only a tier 6 medicinal pill would have a chance to have a pill tribulation. Moreover, this pill tribulation was not something that could appear for every medicinal pill. Even 7th or 8th grade medicinal pills might not be able to cause a pill tribulation. However, the only thing that could be confirmed was that only medicinal pills above 6th grade would cause a pill tribulation. What? This is a pill tribulation. The legendary pill tribulation. Pills that succeed in the pill tribulation often mutate and become precious transcendent grade pills. That's right. If a 6th grade or higher medicinal pill can still succeed in the pill tribulation, the value of this medicinal pill will infinitely double. The benefits it brings to the martial artist will also be heaven-defying. The few powerful spirit pill masters were shocked beyond words. They had never seen a pill tribulation in their lives, let alone a pill tribulation when they were refining pills. He never expected that this young man was actually refining a tier 6 medicinal pill and even attracted a pill tribulation. In the elixir refinery room, Li Lingtian was also in shock. He was about to succeed in refining a tier 6 elixir, yet the elixir tribulation had appeared. He could not help but smile bitterly. However, at this moment, he could not give up at all. He kept waving his hands and injecting spiritual energy into the cauldron. Countless pill tribulations entered the pill cauldron. Immediately, countless electric arcs were emitted from the pill cauldron. In the sky, lightning bolts continued to strike, and spiritual energy continued to descend. Li Lingtian's vital essence was completely depleted. Furthermore, he had already used the heaven-defying pill once. It was impossible for it to have any effect if he used it again. I'm going all out. With a resolute heart, he flipped his hands and a huge hole appeared in the alchemy room. Li Lingtian flew out with the elixir cauldron. His entire body was suspended in the air while the elixir cauldron spun continuously. Countless bolts of lightning and shocking spiritual energy kept bombarding the cauldron. All the warriors were stunned when they saw Li Lingtian's sudden attack. Tens of thousands of pairs of eyes stared at the young man in the sky and the rotating pill cauldron in front of him. Countless lightning bolts continuously bombarded the pill cauldron. This scene was extremely magical. Not good, his primeval essence has been exhausted. He can't hold on until the end. An alchemist could easily tell Li Lingtian's current condition. Without his true essence, he would not be able to sustain the refinement process and the cauldron of pills would be useless. A cauldron of grade 6 medicinal pills, moreover a grade 6 medicinal pill with a pill tribulation, was scrapped just like that. No one would not feel regretful. Just as everyone was feeling regretful, Li Lingtian extended one hand into the void and conjured a strange seal with his other hand. The sky trembled as a strange aura appeared. Devouring light. At the same time that the strange aura appeared, Li Lingtian retracted his hands and cast countless spells. He extended his hands and the spirit chi in the world and the true essence of countless warriors surged toward Li Lingtian. Instantly, all the martial artists were stunned. Li Lingtian stabilized the cauldron as he absorbed spirit chi and true essence. Within 3 seconds, Li Lingtian's true essence had fully recovered and his face revealed a pained expression. He didn't dare to absorb too much Xin Yuan in front of so many super experts. He could only stop while he was ahead. As a result, the external Xin Yuan in his body kept attacking his meridians. Now, he could only use the heaven and earth reincarnation to suppress it. With true essence, he could withstand the pill tribulation and refine his own pills seriously, allowing the pill cauldron to suffer the pill tribulation. Everyone was stunned by the scene just now. They only felt their true essence and true chi flowing away. However, by the time they reacted, this feeling had already disappeared. They all felt that it was just an illusion, but only the powerhouses above the martial royal realm were truly shocked as they could clearly sense the terror of Li Lingtian's devouring light. However, at this time, what everyone cared about was whether the medicinal pill was successfully refined or not. Pill completed. After an unknown period of time, the pili tribulation in the sky gradually disappeared. The spiritual energy pillar also slowly melted and finally dissipated in the air. At that moment, Li Lingtian gave a soft shout and a string of light shadows shot out from the cauldron. It emitted an ancient and heavy aura and a faint fragrance. After the light shadow appeared, it quickly devoured the spiritual energy in the spiritual energy pillar. Only when the spiritual energy in the air calmed down did the light shadow calm down. However, there was a faint electric arc on the surface of this pili. Collect the pills. Li Lingtian extended his hand and the jade bottle in his hand sucked the light shadow into the jade bottle. After he was done, Li Lingtian quickly put away the pills and floated in the air. Painful expressions appeared on their faces. This change caused countless experts to be stunned. Why did such a situation occur after successfully refining the pill? Li Lingtian then took out a fruit. It was the limitless Dao fruit. He quickly refined it and his aura changed. He's breaking through. Breakthrough? This is too unbelievable. Refining a medicinal pill and you want to break through? Isn't this too heaven-defying? Breakthrough? Countless powerhouses saw Li Lingtian's actions and the aura emanating from him. It was a sign of a breakthrough. Everyone was speechless. This was a monster. It was indescribable. Compared to such a monster, they even wanted to die. Boom! A burst of thunder appeared once again and continued to bombard Li Lingtian. Li Lingtian was completely unaffected by the lightning and his clothes were torn to shreds. However, the aura on his body continued to rise and mutate. In just 10 minutes, his aura had risen to an extreme. Then, this aura disappeared as if it had been withdrawn. The thunder and lightning in the sky had also disappeared. There was a trace of blood at the corner of Li Lingtian's mouth, but his face revealed a confident expression. 1 a.m. The ruler of martial arts. The world is shocked by the Emperor. Martial Emperor, I've finally broken through. The confidence on Li Lingtian's face grew stronger as he muttered to himself. The shocking martial Emperor power surged out from his body and the world trembled. After reaching the martial royal realm, his entire body had been sublimated. His genuine vitality had become purer, and the 5-colored golden core in his dantian had become stronger. Li Lingtian's eyes swept across Guangchao with an invincible confidence. Countless martial artists below the rank of martial emperor could not help but kneel down. Even experts below the 5th level of martial emperor had the urge to do so. They were extremely shocked. A newly advanced martial emperor actually had such terrifying strength. This was a supreme power. Li Lingtian closed his eyes slightly and examined his body internally. His meridians were strong, his true essence was pure, and his golden core was stronger. More importantly, the treasures that he couldn't control with his treasure control art had also received greater nourishment. The true essence nourished the treasures. His dantian was quiet as the golden core spun gently. However, Li Lingtian could imagine that he would unleash an earth-shattering attack if he channeled his energy. After a short while, Li Lingtian slowly descended in front of the countless powerhouses. In a flash, he flew toward the elixir refinery room. Then, he took out a bottle of medicinal pills from inside. This medicinal pili was the 5th-grade Azure Yang pill that he had just started refining. This is the pill 1 refined. Please check it. Li Lingtian hurled the jade bottle in his hand at one of the spirit alchemists. Following that, 2 elixirs flew out from the other jade bottle. One of the elixirs flew toward the Eastern Tomb Mutian while the other flew toward Alchemy Master Yunyuan Saint. All the powerhouses were staring at the elixir in Li Lingtian's hand. How powerful could a Tier 6 elixir that had received the elixir Tribulation be? Even Supreme Realm experts had never obtained a 6th-grade medicinal pill under the pill Tribulation. Not to mention a 6th-grade medicinal pill under the pill Tribulation, even an ordinary 6th-grade medicinal pill was very difficult to obtain. Grade 5 Azure Yang pill. However, the quality of this pill. A spirit alchemist took out the Azure Yang pill from the jade bottle and examined it carefully. Suddenly, a trace of embarrassment appeared on his face. Countless warriors and experts heard the words of this spirit alchemist and curiously extended their divine senses over, but they still did not know what was wrong with this pill. Some martial artists with low cultivation all thought that the pill refinement was unsuccessful. A 5th-grade pill was unsuccessful, and he actually refined a 6th-grade pill. Wasn't this nonsense? The quality of this medicinal pill has already reached 99%. It has surpassed high-grade medicinal pills, but it's only a hair's breadth away from peerless medicinal pills. It's not an exaggeration to say that such a pill is peerless. He actually managed to refine 99% of the pills. I'm really speechless. This medicinal pill should be said to be a pseudo-supreme grade. The few spirit alchemists all revealed a troubled expression. In the end, they started to discuss non-stop. One said that it was a peerless grade, and the other said that it was a high grade. The two spirit alchemists simply said that it was a pseudo-peerless grade. This description gave all the cultivators a headache. Even if they didn't know how to refine pills, they had never heard of a pseudo-peerless grade. Such a pill is of the highest quality. Li Lingtian was speechless as he stood beside Ge and looked at the alchemists. He was now a Tier 6 alchemist after refining a Tier 6 pill. Compared to these Tier 5 alchemists, he was a whole tier higher. When Li Lingtian spoke, no one dared to comment further. Although they were the judges, Li Lingtian's alchemy skills were obviously much better than theirs. There was no comparison between the two. Next, everyone looked at Grandmaster Yun Yuan and Dongling Mutian. They still had a Tier 6 pill in their hands, so they didn't know what was so special about it. No matter how bad the medicinal pills below the pill Tribulation were, they were also not what ordinary Tier 6 could compare to. Tier 6 Dust Cleansing Pill. Apothecary Yun Yuan calmed down a little and revealed the name of the cauldron of pills Li Lingtian had refined. No matter how hard he tried to hide it, he could not hide the shock in his heart. Chapter 311, Mutated Cleansing Pill, 1. Chapter 311, Mutated Cleansing Pill, 1. Grade 6 cleansing dust pills could also be concocted by Alchemy Saint Yun Yuan, but there had never been a pill Tribulation. Moreover, this 6th grade cleansing dust pill had not only experienced the pill Tribulation, but more importantly, this medicinal pill was of high quality. It was indeed heaven-defying to refine such a medicinal pill for the first time. High-grade grade 6 cleansing pill. Mutated. Chance of breaking through a bottleneck is 50%. After announcing the name of the pill, Pill Master Yun Yuan continued to talk about the quality of the pill and the effects of the pill Tribulation. With this sentence, all the super experts stood up, their faces revealing shock. There was a 50% chance of breaking through the bottleneck. What kind of concept was this? Grade 6 elixirs were used by martial emperors and martial honors. In other words, if a martial emperor or martial honored expert encountered a bottleneck, they would have a 50% chance of breaking through the bottleneck and reaching a higher realm with the mutated grade 6 cleansing elixir. Countless martial emperors and martial honors present had encountered bottlenecks before. Now that they had encountered such a medicinal pill, who wouldn't be excited? Tier 6 Dust Cleansing Pill. A high-grade Tier 6 medicinal pill. Mutated Tier 6 Cleansing Pill. A mutated Tier 6 medicinal pill that can break through a bottleneck. Isn't this too miraculous? In this world, there's still someone who can refine such a powerful medicinal pill. Sigh, this is heaven-defying. An 18-year-old 6th grade spirit alchemist who can refine a mutated pill. I've finally seen what it means to be monstrous and heaven-defying. For a moment, they were shocked, horrified, and surprised. Tens of thousands of martial artists in the square were stunned. Grade 1 to Grade 4 pills were all peerless. Grade 5 pills were top-notch, and Grade 6 pills were mutated. None of these things had ever happened in the divine martial continent before. Each of these things had shocked the entire world. Who would have thought that all of these things had only happened to one person? Moreover, it was only a few days. All of this was done by others. Tens of thousands of pairs of eyes gathered on Li Lingtian's body. They were filled with admiration, respect, and envy. This young alchemist was a miracle. One hereby announce that this time, a total of 15 people will become Spirit Alchemists. These 15 people will receive the Spirit Alchemist Guild's Spirit Alchemist badge and honor. Everyone will be rewarded with a Tier 7 Great Rejuvenating Pill from the Immortal Realm. The first place goes to Li Lingtian, the new Alchemy King. He has been awarded the title of Quasi-Level 7 Alchemy Saint by the Alchemist Guild and the honor of a Level 7 Alchemy Saint. I'm here to represent the Immortal Realm and invite Sir Ling Tian to be an honorary elder of the Immortal Realm. Grandmaster Yun Yuan announced loudly. He then took out the badge of the Alchemist Guild and engraved the name of the alchemist on each badge. Instantly, everyone was shocked and envious. Becoming a Spirit Alchemist meant becoming a member of the Alchemist Guild. Moreover, there was even a Tier 7 Great Rejuvenating Pill as a reward. This was something that the Alchemist Guild hadn't done in several hundred years. To their surprise, Alchemy Saint Yunyuan gave Li Lingtian the title of Quasi-Alchemy Saint and even awarded him the Alchemy Saint badge. In other words, Li Lingtian would be the first holy alchemist in the Azure continent. Sir Ling Tian, are you willing to join the Alchemist Guild and exchange ideas about alchemy? Apothecary Yunyuan asked Li Lingtian with a faint smile on his face. Such a heaven-defying genius must be pulled into the Alchemist Guild. I am very honored, but one have many things to settle now. With the identity of an honorary elder, it is inevitable that some things are inconvenient. Therefore, when I truly become a Saint Alchemist, one want to settle my own matters before taking up the position of honorary elder. To everyone's surprise, Li Lingtian rejected such a good offer without hesitation. Even Apothecary Yunyuan Sheng was shocked as he did not expect to be rejected. This kind of opportunity, even many Spirit Alchemists didn't have the chance to join. Moreover, the Alchemist Guild only had 4 honorary elders so far, this identity could be imagined. He did not expect Li Lingtian to reject him without any hesitation, leaving him momentarily stunned. However, he immediately understood something and valued this young man even more. After joining the Alchemist Guild, one would be a member of the Alchemist Guild. Their status would be incomparably transcendent, and ordinary forces would not dare to easily provoke them. This young man definitely did not want to test the influence of the Alchemist Guild to resolve some matters. This was a person's self-confidence, a person's principle. Not bad. To be able to do this, you are already a truly outstanding alchemist. Your future in alchemy is boundless. You can join the Alchemist Guild and become an honorary elder of the Alchemist Guild. The Alchemist Guild will not interfere in your matters. This badge is the badge of a Pill Saint. Your strength has already reached the level of a Pill Saint. Tier 7 medicinal pills are only a matter of time and mood for you. One hope these 3 Tier 7 Great Recovery Pills can help you raise your cultivation a little. The badge of an honorary elder will be forged for you when you come to the Immortal Realm or the Divine Continent. However, I can inform the Azure Continent. Pill Saint Yunyuan continued with a faint smile on his face. When all the martial artists saw that Pill Saint Yunyuan was trying his best to rope in this young man, they were all envious and jealous. The super powerhouses on the platform were also extremely envious. They wished they could tear Li Lingtian apart. How could he reject such a good offer? However, they didn't dare to show it. This young man was already a level 7 Divine Alchemist and the first Divine Alchemist in the Azure Continent. Wasn't this the glory of the Azure Continent? In the future, he would still have to take the test to become a Saint Alchemist to refine medicinal pills. Moreover, medicinal pills used by martial honored realm experts could only be refined by level 6 or 7 alchemists. Alright, thank you, Pill Saint. Li Lingtian's heart raced. Joining the Alchemist Guild would bring him countless benefits. If he did not join, he would definitely offend this alchemy saint. Moreover, he would also become the target of other families. Rather than that, he might as well join the Alchemist Guild. That way, he would also have an Alchemist Guild as a backer. Okay, let's talk more in the future. You're also a Saint Alchemist, and I'm also a saint alchemist. You're being too polite. If you think highly of me, we should address each other as equals. Pill Master Yunyuan laughed and said loudly. Instantly, all the warriors were stunned. Who would dare to provoke Li Lingtian now? A level 7 Pill Saint of the Alchemist Guild was equivalent to Pill Saint Yunyuan and was an honorary elder of the Alchemist Guild. They all understood the status of Alchemy Grandmaster Yunyuan in the Alchemist Guild because his father was a level 9 Martial Emperor. He was also a level 8 Alchemy Saint in the guild and the vice president of the Alchemist Guild. Next, Apothecary Yunyuan gave Li Lingtian an emblem of the Alchemist Guild. It was an inch-long emblem made of some unknown material. Its owner's information was recorded on it and there were countless tight arrays inside. It was also a defensive treasure of a celestial artifact. 3 7th-grade Great Cyclic Pellets and the recipe of the Great Cyclic Pellet were the rewards for the new king. When Li Lingtian put on the badge, all the warriors congratulated him. Even the martial emperors and martial honors greeted him politely. The status of a Tier 7 Saint Alchemist was absolutely not what ordinary martial venerables and martial emperors could compare to. Ji Yi and Qing Ling were also overjoyed. This time, Li Lingtian had become the center of attention. Even the powerful martial emperors and martial supremes had to be polite. Rumble. At this moment, a shocking explosion sounded, and a destructive attack soared into the sky. The entire West City seemed to be trembling. All the warriors were shocked. Their faces were filled with horror as they looked into the distance where the explosion had occurred. What happened? It seems to be at the Yi family. Could it be that something happened in the Yi family? It should be the Yi family. That shouldn't be the case. The Yi family doesn't have any enemies or enemies. Such an attack is definitely a battle between martial honors. Let's go and take a look. CI. All of a sudden, all the warriors were shocked. The Yi clan was one of the most powerful clans in Qinglan City. It was known as the most powerful clan along with the Dongling clan and the Lan clan. There were dozens of martial honor experts in the clan, and all of them were experts with deep cultivation. Now that such a big battle had occurred, the person who came was definitely not simple. Li Lingtian was shocked. Yi Feng had not been around all this while, so the commotion this time was definitely related to him. Li Lingtian's expression kept changing as he watched countless warriors rush toward the place where the explosion had just occurred. The Yi family was known as one of the 3 major families in Qinglan City. It was many times more powerful than the other 7 major families. Moreover, the Yi family controlled the resources of the sea area and had a powerful background. Even the Lan family did not dare to easily go against the Yi family. In the Yi family square, more than a dozen Supreme Realm experts surrounded a young man. The young man looked excited and there was blood at the corner of his mouth. Yi Feng, surrender now and I can spare your life. The grudges from back then have already passed. As a disciple of the Yi family, you actually dared to offend your superiors. What punishment do you deserve? Yi Lantian shouted loudly. He was extremely shocked. He did not expect that this warrior spirit's disciple from back then had already reached the realm of a martial honor in just 100 years. Moreover, his strength had far surpassed the first level of a martial honor. He didn't expect that the Yi family would abandon such a genius and turn him into a great enemy of the Yi family. The people outside didn't know what to say about their Yi family. After their Yi family's genius was plotted against by their own family, he had now become their enemy. Ha, ha. Yi clan disciples, when have you ever treated me as a Yi clan disciple? Back then, you killed my parents, my grandfather, and all 47 members of my Yi clan. Did you ever think that we were all from the Yi clan, yet you would kill each other for the sake of the position of the clan? You won't even let go of my fiancé. Do you think I'm still a disciple of the Yi family today? Yi Feng said excitedly. He no longer had that wooden expression, his face was filled with madness. In these 100 years, he had endured countless pain, now, he could no longer endure it. thinking about how his entire family had been exterminated, and his fiancée had also been plotted against, making his life worse than death. Now that he had become a martial honor, was it possible for him to admit that he was a disciple of the Yi family? More and more experts from Yi clan gathered, hundreds of martial emperors and 36 martial honors had all arrived at the square, and 11 martial honors surrounded Yi Feng. There was also a huge black hole on the ground, which was obviously caused by the attack just now. P.S. The Mouse Who Marries a Cat, a mythical work of the chaotic heavenly emperor. Chapter 312, Chapter 312, Yi Family, 1. Chapter 312, Yi Family, 1. Everyone was at fault for what happened back then. The winner is king, and the loser is the bandit. Yi Lantian said loudly. As the head of the family, he had to fight for the position in the past. However, Yi Feng's family was naturally the victim. Fortunately, Yi Feng escaped. In these 100 years, no one expected that this fish who escaped the net would still be alive, and even become a martial honor. Yi Lantian kept calculating in his heart. This Yi Feng's cultivation was only at the first level of the martial honored realm, but his true strength had already surpassed the first level. Even a second-level expert might not be able to kill him. Alright, the winner is king, and the loser is bandit. Today, you will give me an explanation. Only one of us can stay. Yi Feng's expression became more and more agitated, thinking about how his entire family was killed, even his fiancée was plotted against. How could he accept such a blow? As he spoke, he pointed his upper-grade emperor weapon at Yi Lantian. Yi Feng, who do you think you are? You are just a junior, how dare you speak to your elders like this? Ignorant thing, do you want the clan leader to make a move? I'll play with you. Yi Lantian didn't say anything at this moment. Instead, a second-level martial honored warrior beside Yi Lantian stood up. The Yi family was one of the top 10 families in Qinglan City. The position of the family head was extraordinary. Moreover, Yi Feng was only a first-level martial honored realm expert. He had always been competing with Yi Feng, but he did not expect that Yi Feng had disappeared for nearly 100 years and had now reached the martial honored realm. How could he let Yi Feng leave alive? Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. In the sky, more than 10 figures shot over. 14 martial honors were floating above the Yi family square, staring at Yi Lantian and the others. 2. Lan Xiaoyao, have you forgotten that this is the Yi family? A third-level martial honored realm expert of the Yi clan was stunned when he saw the arrival of the Lan clan's martial honored realm expert. The other experts of the Yi clan were also puzzled. Could it be that Yi Feng wanted to start a war between the Lan clan and the Yi clan? Ha, do you think my Lan family is afraid of your Yi family? You killed my daughter back then. Now, you should pay with your life, right? Lan Xiaoyao laughed loudly. He looked at the other revered martial artists with disdain and then looked at Yi Lantian coldly. Today, my Lan clan will not fight you, because this matter will be settled by Yi Feng and you. If you are not afraid of a war between the Lan clan and Yi clan, then let's see who is stronger, your Yi clan or my Lan clan. Lan Xiaoyao's entire body was emitting a shocking aura of vital essence. The power of the third level of the Supreme Realm was displayed, and the entire square was instantly ravaged by strong winds. A great battle was about to break out. Countless experts of the Yi family were stunned. If the Yi family and the Lan family were to fight, it would undoubtedly be a disaster for the Qinglan city. Moreover, when two tigers fought, one would definitely be injured. You think you can influence the affairs of my Yi family? Attack, execute Yi Feng on the spot. Yi Lantian shouted. He waved his hand and signaled the 11 revered martial artists to kill Yi Feng. Boom! In the air, the primeval essence of the 11 martial honored realm experts circulated, a shocking destructive aura pressed down on Yi Feng. The space also trembled. Yi Feng's face was filled with shock. He felt indignant. His entire clan was killed, and now the entire clan was going against him alone. It was truly detestable. Heaven extinguishing earth fiend. The true essence in his entire body reversed, and a blood curtain was cast. Immediately, his entire aura became incomparably violent, and the destructive chi in the space also became strange. Since they did not treat him as a disciple of the Yi family, there was no need for him to become a disciple of the Yi family. Yi Feng was determined. He used the destruction taboo and burned his lifespan and primeval essence. Not good. The 11 Supreme Realm experts were shocked and retreated. However, it was too late. The destructive pressure had locked the space and they could not retreat at all. At this moment, Yilantian revealed a strange smile. The Lan clan's 14 martial honors were also stopped in the air by the Yi clan's martial honors. They could only watch as Yi Feng unleashed a destructive attack. After this attack, Yi Feng would also be destroyed. Crash. Space shattered, a white-robed figure landed in the sky above Yi Feng, a strange light struck Yi Feng's body, the heaven-destroying earth fiend was also destroyed. Yi Feng's entire body was smashed onto the ground, his eyes were filled with fear and unwillingness. However, when he saw the white-robed figure in the sky, his eyes revealed a hint of confusion. In the air, the aura returned to normal. The 11 Supreme Realm experts also revealed a trace of shock after surviving a disaster. If it was not for the strange light that suppressed the heaven-destroying earth evil by this white-robed figure, they would have been destroyed. Everyone was shocked. He was actually able to move freely in the confined space and lift the taboo of destroying the heavens and killing the earth with a single strike. Who dares to interfere in the Yi family's affairs? Yilantian was furious when he saw that someone had ruined the battle. When he said it, all the experts of Yi clan were stunned. They were confused. Was he really going to destroy more than 10 martial honors for Yi Feng? Was this still the duty of a family head? Was this still a family head protecting the family? Ha, I've intervened. So what? Are you trying to bite me? Are you really the head of the Yi family? The white-robed figure in the sky was naturally Li Lingtian. He flew over alone when he saw countless powerhouses rushing over. Ji Yi and Qing Ling could rest assured with the silver-winged flying dragon and Little White protecting them. Fortunately, he came in time, otherwise, Yi Feng would have been completely destroyed. He had seen everything about Yilantian. He had a strange feeling. It was as if Yilantian wanted to destroy Yi family. All the experts were stunned by his words. Even the Supreme Realm experts of the Lan family were shocked. Who are you? Yilantian's heart skipped a beat as his expression kept changing. He glared at Li Lingtian coldly. It doesn't matter who he is. It's enough as long as he knows me. At that moment, before Li Lingtian could say anything, an ethereal voice rang out in the air. Many powerhouses were stunned when the voice appeared. Li Lingtian could not understand why it was him. Yilantian's expression changed drastically when he heard the voice. A grid appeared in the air, and an old man appeared in the air. Who else could this old man be other than Pill Master Yun Yuansheng? Your Excellency Pill Master Yun Yuan. Countless masters recognized him. They didn't expect that Grandmaster Yun Yuan would show up in the Yi family. It seemed that Grandmaster Yun Yuan knew Yilantian. Sir Ling Tian, you can tell. To the astonishment of all the powerhouses, the divine alchemist ignored the Yi clan powerhouses and greeted Li Lingtian, who was in the air. Most of the powerhouses here were in closed-door cultivation and were unaware of the competition. Naturally, they did not recognize Li Lingtian. If Sir Yun Yuan didn't come, one wouldn't be so sure. Sir Yun Yuan's arrival also confirmed my thoughts. Li Lingtian spoke indifferently without greeting Alchemy Saint Yun Yuan. This situation shocked countless powerhouses. They wondered who he was to act so casually in front of an alchemy saint. As expected, you arrived first. Sir Ling Tian is also here. Sir Ling Tian. One didn't expect Sir Ling Tian to be here. At that moment, countless powerhouses were flying toward the Yi family. They hovered in the air and greeted Li Lingtian and Apothecary Yun Yuan. This time, The experts of the Yi clan and the Lan clan were all stunned. They did not expect so many experts to suddenly appear. Moreover, they were actually greeting a young man. Could it be that the world had turned upside down? Let me introduce you all. This is the Alchemist Guild's new honorary elder, level 7 Saint Alchemist, His Excellency Ling Tian. Grandmaster Yun Yuan said loudly. Instantly, the experts of the Lan and Yi families were stunned. This young man was only 18 years old. How could he be a pill saint and an honorary elder of the immortal domain? This was too heaven-defying. No wonder he was so familiar with pill Saint Yun Yuan. Ming Xiu, do you still want to hide? 100 years ago, I was plotted against by you. It is your honor that I came to find you today. After introducing Li Lingtian, Apothecary Yun Yuan glared at Yi Lantian and shouted. All the powerhouses were stunned by his words. Only Li Lingtian's smile grew wider. Ming Xiu. Who is Ming Xiu? Is Yi Lantian an underworld cultivator? That's impossible, right? All of a sudden, all the experts were confused. It seemed that Pill Master Yun Yuan wouldn't just say that. Pill Master Yun Yuan shouted at Yi Lantian. Could Yi Lantian be Ming Xiu? Pill Saint Yun Yuan, I respect you as a pill saint and an expert of the Union, but don't frame me. Yi Lantian's expression changed drastically, but he soon calmed down and said loudly. However, when he saw the gazes of all the experts from the Lan and Yi families, his face gradually turned pale. Let's see who he is. Grandmaster Yun Yuan didn't explain. Instead, he pointed at the sky. All the experts looked up and saw a dashing figure appear. The appearance of this figure shocked the martial artists of the Yi and Lan families, as if they had seen a ghost. Yi Lantian. Brother Yi. Big brother. The figure in the sky landed on the ground. He was dressed in green and had a calm expression on his face. Even Li Lingtian was surprised to find that the middle-aged man in green looked exactly like Yi Lantian. All the martial honors of the Yi family could not help but shout out. Their faces also revealed a puzzled expression. How could there be two family heads? Your Excellency Alchemy Saint, could it be that you want to get a fake person to frame this Yi? When Yi Lantian saw the middle-aged man in green, he couldn't help but tremble. He looked extremely uneasy. Ming Xiu, you didn't expect this, did you? When you killed me 100 years ago, you didn't expect me to still be alive today. That's right. 1 a.m. Yi Lantian. 100 years ago, this guy plotted against our Yi family and Lan family together with the Dongling family. However, one accidentally found out about it and killed him. Luckily, the Pill Saint Master helped us, but he was also severely injured. You guys still don't know his identity, right? The remnant of the Netherworld, Xiu Ming, has always been plotting against the Qing Lan city. Now, he actually wants the Yi family and the Lan family to fight and overthrow the Qing Lan city. The green-robed middle-aged man became more and more excited as he spoke. 100 years ago, he was not the head of the family, but he was still a candidate for the head of the family. However, he did not expect to be plotted against. Moreover, he even harmed his own brother. When he spoke, he looked at Yi Feng who was on the ground. Tears could not help but fall from the corner of his eyes. Chapter 313, Chapter 313, Jasper Saber. Chapter 313, Jasper Saber. With just a few simple words, all the super experts of the Lan family and the Yi family were stunned. Although he didn't know who was the real Yi Lantian or the middle-aged man in green, he thought about what Yi Lantian had done over the years. He was totally different from the genius brother he used to have. Moreover, he had asked 11 revered martial artists to kill Yi Feng and even fought against Lan clan. This was definitely not something a clan leader should do. All of you, move aside. One want to see how much you've improved over the years. Pill Master Yun Yuan said. In fact, no one else needed to say anything to know that Yilantian was a fake. The middle-aged man in green was the real Yilantian. Haha, since you found me, I want to see how you're going to escape today. There was nothing else for Ming Xiu to hide anymore. He had been pierced through. Now, he only wanted to think about how to leave this place. There were too many human experts. Any human would be able to interfere with his netherworld. Although he was not worried about these experts, if those super experts came, he would not be able to leave. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. All the experts of the Lan and Yi families had surrounded the entire square. Even the experts who had just arrived were floating around the square. They had already used their emperor weapons. It seemed that they would not let Xiu Ming leave today. After the Lan family and the Yi family found out the truth, the feud from 100 years ago was resolved. Although the two families were enemies, their current opponent was Ming Xiu, the culprit behind the scenes. The real Yilantian walked in front of Yifeng. He had a guilty expression on his face. Feng, it's eldest uncle who has let you down. If it wasn't for eldest uncle being useless, he wouldn't have implicated your entire family. Yilantian said seriously. Yifeng's father was his brother, his brother's entire family was killed, there was nothing more painful than this. Eldest uncle, Feng deserves to die. She misunderstood eldest uncle. At this moment, Yifeng understood everything. It was all Xiu Ming's doing, it was also Xiu Ming who killed his entire family. Li Lingtian looked at Yifeng and tossed a bottle of healing pills to him before watching the battle in the sky. In the sky, all the experts looked at each other from afar and formed a siege. In the middle, Alchemy Master Yun Yuan was emitting a shocking aura. He was at the peak of the 3rd level of the martial honored realm. His strength was terrifying. Last time, Xiu Ming's forbidden sneak attack did not kill him. One could imagine how powerful he was. Furthermore, after he was injured, he had been constantly improving his cultivation for 100 years to avenge the previous plot. He had endured for 100 years and finally came out now. One could imagine how angry he was. On the other hand, the opponent's Xiu Ming's strength was beyond Li Lingtian and the rest's imagination. Initially, they did not get a clear look at him as he had been concealing his cultivation level. Now, he was displaying his terrifying strength. He was actually a 4th-level martial honored realm super powerhouse. The shocking nether energy filled the entire square with a sinister aura, causing people to involuntarily tremble. Yunyuan, you escaped 100 years ago. Hee, today, you will all die. Ming Xiu laughed sinisterly. He did not know why he was so arrogant in front of hundreds of Supreme Realm experts. He was only a 4th-level Supreme Realm expert. Although the square was filled with 1st and 2nd level Supreme Realm experts, he did not have the courage to do so when hundreds of Supreme Realm experts were gathered. Is that so? The 4th level of the Supreme Realm is indeed not bad. However, it's not like I haven't improved in the past 100 years. Sky Screen Divine Art, Heaven-defying power. Grandmaster Yun Yuan was also shocked. 100 years ago, the other party was still in the 3rd heaven, but now, he had reached the 4th heaven. He had advanced a level, and the other party had also advanced a level. Moreover, Ming Xiu's true strength was even more terrifying than he had imagined. However, when he thought about how many experts were here, he felt a little relieved. The true essence in his entire body circulated. As a saint alchemist, he mainly cultivated the wood element with the fire element as a supplement. This allowed him to become a saint alchemist. Moreover, the Sky Screen Divine Art was a heaven-rank cultivation technique. Its power was shocking, and it was countless times stronger than experts of the same rank. The air trembled as a destructively Ling Tian headed straight for Xiu Ming. The two of them were mortal enemies. When they met, they would attack with destructive force. Mysterious Yin flames, destroy. A serious expression appeared on Ming Xiu's face as well. He flipped his hand, and a streak of underworld flames floated towards the attack in the air. Instantly, two shocking forces in the air pressed down on the surrounding warriors. Everyone retreated in a hurry while Li Lingtian's body flashed and drifted backward. Rumble. With a shocking explosion, the two destructive attacks collided. The mysterious Yin fire actually directly swallowed Alchemy Master Yun Yuan's attack. Moreover, after the dark Yin fire devoured Alchemy Master Yun Yuan's attack, its power became even more terrifying and directly pressed down on Alchemy Master Yun Yuan. Huh! Grandmaster Yun Yuan's expression changed drastically. This mysterious Yin fire was also the move he used to plot against him last time. He didn't expect that the heaven-defying power he cultivated so hard would also be broken. He quickly retreated, his expression constantly changing. Boom! With a muffled sound, Pill Master Yun Yuan was swallowed by the mysterious Yin fire. In an instant, Pill Master Yun Yuan disappeared as if he had never appeared. Pill Sage Yun Yuan has fallen. 2. That's impossible, right? A third Heaven Supreme Realm expert was killed in one move. Shoo. This is too terrifying. Countless super experts were shocked. One move was enough to kill a third-level martial honored realm alchemist Yun Yuan. Wasn't this too terrifying? If that was the case, none of the Supreme Realm experts present would be a match for this Xiao Ming. Ha, 100 years ago, you were able to escape from this move. 100 years later, you still died to this move of mine. How stupid. Ming Xiao was also stunned. He was shocked when he saw his mysterious Yin flame kill his opponent. However, killing a third Heaven Supreme Realm expert had also stunned these experts. However, after laughing, a destructive aura descended from the sky. 100 years ago, this move of yours was just a sneak attack. Do you think you're as stupid as the trash of the netherworld? Yun Yuansheng, who had fallen earlier, suddenly appeared in the air. A faint green halo enveloped her hand as she slashed down with a long green saber. Li Lingtian's destructive aura was emitted from this long green saber. Jasper Saber, a peerless heavenly weapon. Many experts recognized this long saber because it was famous. Among the heaven artifacts, there were almost no weapons that could be compared to the Jasper Saber. Moreover, this long saber was the nemesis of the netherworld. With one strike, even a powerful netherworld warrior would be killed. It seemed like Grandmaster Yun Yuan had made countless preparations for this. Even the treasures that could hide from the mysterious Yin flames were specially prepared to deal with Ming Xiao. Mysterious Yin flames. Ming Xiao used his dark Yin flames again, but this time, the dark Yin flames formed a spear that pierced through the air and affected the Jasper Saber. All the warriors stared at the attacks of the Jasper Saber and the mysterious Yin fire. The oppressive aura in the space became even stranger. Li Lingtian looked at the dark Yin fire and his heart was stirred. Unfortunately, he was not strong enough and was no match for Xiao Ming. Otherwise, if he refined this mysterious Yin flame, his ice flame would be even more terrifying and domineering. Tisk. With a soft sound, the jade blade split open the mysterious Yin fire. A green light instantly appeared in front of Ming Xiao, and his face was ashen. He did not expect the other party to be so well prepared. He did not guard against it and the other party took the initiative. Moreover, the other party had even used the Jasper Saber. As he watched the green light shoot down, his heart trembled, and his expression twisted in pain. Oh! With a miserable cry, his entire body twisted. What terrified all the cultivators was that not only did Ming Xiao not die, but his cultivation base continued to rise in pain. The nether chi also became denser, and the entire square became gray. Puff! A mouthful of green blood spurted out. Xiao Ming's cultivation had actually reached the 5th level of the Supreme Realm. A green token appeared in his hand. His eyes had also turned green, and his entire appearance was extremely terrifying. Not good. When all the experts saw Ming Xiao's appearance, they all secretly cursed, but it was already too late. Ming Xiu waved the green token in his hand, and a black hole appeared in space. From the black hole, countless ghosts and spirits surged out. Every ghost and spirit was a martial king. The spirits of martial kings were not scary. The main thing was that these spirits filled the entire plaza, and spirits kept pouring out of the black hole. Kaka, Kaka. I said I would kill all of you. Xiao Ming waved the card in his hand and thousands of ghosts and spirits quickly rushed towards all the experts. Ghosts and ghosts did not have bodies. They were only soul bodies and could not be killed at all. In an instant, countless specters surrounded all the experts. Even martial honors could only attack. Every attack would kill a specter, but with so many specters, it was impossible to kill them all. Not good, use fire martial soul attack. A supreme realm expert in the air was constantly being devoured of his true essence and life force. He was instantly shocked to death. No matter what attack he used, it could not do anything to the soul. At this moment, someone shouted loudly. Immediately, countless powerhouses who cultivated fire-type martial souls launched fire-type attacks, attacking and dodging at the same time. Li Lingtian unleashed a series of attacks to drive away the ghosts around him. Kaka, Kaka, fall. Qinglan City will be completely destroyed. Xiao Ming sinisterly laughed. He continuously waved the green token in his hand, causing countless ghosts to surge out. Immediately, tens of thousands of ghosts quickly rushed out of the square. This was no longer a personal grudge between Pill Master Yun Yuan and Ming Xiu. It was because Ming Xiu wanted to turn Qinglan City into the underworld. All the experts could see this situation, but they couldn't escape for a while. They couldn't stop Ming Xiu's goal at all. Moreover, all the experts discovered a terrifying thing. A huge compass appeared in Xiao Ming's hand, and mysterious light figures appeared. The Yin energy in the world surged wildly. Chapter 314, Chapter 314, Infernal Yin Beast, 1. Chapter 314, Infernal Yin Beast, 1. Li Lingtian was shocked to see this. Although it was impossible for these ghosts and ghosts to hurt him, when all the ghosts and ghosts appeared, Qinglan City would be finished. Moreover, this Xiao Ming's cultivation had already reached the 5th level of the Supreme Realm. If this continued, he would not be able to leave. Thinking of this, he circulated his true essence and waved his hand, casting a ball of ice flame. With the appearance of the ice flame, the aura of the entire square became strange. The cold air that seemed to freeze the world carried a destructive power that could devour the world. All the martial artists felt this strange cold ice flame, and their faces revealed a look of surprise. Meteor shower. Li Lingtian suspended the icy blaze in the air with one hand and cast meteor shower. When the meteor shower appeared, the icy blaze merged with the fiery rain. Instantly, endless fire rain fell from the sky within 100 meters. Chirp, chirp. Squeak, 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 squeak. Ah, ah, ah. As RH meteor shower descended, countless ghosts and spirits screamed in pain. Those ghosts and spirits that came into contact with the meteor shower were destroyed by the rain of fire. Countless martial honors and martial emperors were surprised to see the specter in Li Lingtian's fiery rain being killed. They darted toward the fiery rain in a flash. In the rain of fire, he could still block the rain of fire, but against ghosts and ghosts, he could not stop. Even Xiao Ming, who was using the compass, was stunned when he saw Li Lingtian's fire rain. His expression darkened as he sped up his incantation gestures. TSK. Many warriors who entered Li Lingtian's fire rain thought that it would be easy to deal with. However, they did not expect it to be even more difficult to resist than a ghost. They thought to themselves, is this Sir Ling Tian not a martial monarch? He's clearly a martial monarch who just broke through. Why is this fire rain so terrifying? Even a Supreme Realm's fire rain was not as powerful as this. In an instant, countless powerhouses felt a tinge of fear toward Li Lingtian. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Walla, walla. In the sky, the meteor shower continued to descend, and countless specters were quickly killed. The presence of Li Lingtian's fire rain had alleviated the pressure on many powerhouses. However, Ming Xiu's expression did not look good. Ghost of Hell, flag of the Netherworld. Die! Ming Xiu shouted softly. The nether chi around his body became even stronger. Even martial monarchs could feel a trace of coldness. Ming Xiu waved his hands continuously, and his face revealed a painful expression. Gradually, his face turned extremely pale, as if he had died once. Even a fool would know that Xiu Ming was using a forbidden attack. However, to everyone's surprise, a huge black flag appeared in the sky. There was a huge skull on the flag, and it looked extremely terrifying. Moreover, the flag was gloomy, as if it was in hell. The sky and earth became extremely dark, and the Qinglan city gradually darkened. Yin Qi was everywhere, causing all the warriors in the Qinglan city to panic. Kaka, kaka. A sinister laugh rang out from Xiu Ming's mouth. He curled his 10 fingers and 10 spell seals struck the flag. Immediately, a cold wind shook the flag. Roar, roar, roan. Roar. Roar. Squeak, 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 squeak. In the sky, the sounds of demonic beasts rang out as thousands of abyssal beasts surged out. Each abyssal beast was 10 meters tall. Martial Ancestor Realm Umbra beasts surged out continuously, and there were even Martial Emperor Realm Umbra beasts. At this moment, all the Supreme Realm experts were shocked. The Umbra beasts were extremely terrifying. With so many of them coming at once, even the Supreme Realm experts would not be able to resist them. Kill him. Ming Xiu saw the thousands of infernal beasts coming out and revealed a crazed expression. With a wave of his flag, hundreds of infernal beasts swarmed towards Pill Master Yun Yuan. Rumble. Rumble. With a series of earth-shattering explosions, countless experts from the Green Mist City rushed over. However, the tens of thousands of spirits and Umbra beasts in front of them were all stunned. If hundreds of martial arts grandmaster and martial emperor level Umbra beasts surrounded them, even a martial honor would be killed. Li Lingtian's expression changed drastically. He could only rely on his movement technique and destructive attacks to repel the Umbra beast. If this continued, even he would be killed. However, it was already over if he wanted to leave now. Hundreds of martial arts grandmasters and martial emperors were actually charging towards them, and the meteor shower was rendered useless. Moreover, the meteor shower was constantly being used, and his consumption was also extremely fast. The ice flames he refined were also used up. In the sky, it was no longer the battle between Martial Venerable and Spectral Soul, but the battle between countless experts of Qinglan City and Spectral Soul. A simple revenge had turned into a war between humans and the underworld. Countless warriors had fallen, and the spirits were disappearing. However, the nether beasts were getting stronger and stronger after obtaining the nether energy. Ah! A blood-curdling scream resounded through the world. A martial honored realm expert had died. This was also the first time a martial honored realm expert had died. Join forces and kill Xiu Ming. Grandmaster Yun Yuan shouted. He was also surrounded by countless abyssal beasts. His entire body was covered in blood, and his expression was extremely pale. He had never thought that this Ming Xiu would be even more terrifying than he had imagined. This time, his revenge would turn out like this. Heavenly Sword. Grotto Heaven Palm. Flaming Saber. Martial Emperor Dao Formation. After Pill Master Yun Yuan's reminder, more than a dozen martial venerables and martial emperors attacked Xiu Ming with all their might. Immediately, the space was torn apart. Boom! However, the combined attack of more than a dozen super experts was easily blocked by the Netherworld flag, and more than a dozen super experts were injured by the Netherworld flag. Pft, 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 pft. All the experts were shocked. The joint attack of more than 10 super experts was actually easily broken by the other party. Moreover, these experts were all heavily injured. For a moment, negative emotions appeared in the hearts of countless experts. Facing the attacks of countless ghosts and dark sea beasts, they felt their hearts tremble. Ice, fire, 9 heavens, extinction. It was at this moment that Li Lingtian found a chance. He extended his hands and the space around him trembled. A glacier and a flame appeared in his hand. When the two extreme attributes appeared, the aura of death and destruction appeared in the space. All the powerhouses were shocked by the aura as they directed their divine consciousness at Li Lingtian. When they saw the two ultimate martial soul attributes in Li Lingtian's hands, their expressions changed drastically. Even Xiao Ming's sinister smile froze on his face. To Rhu warriors' astonishment, Li Lingtian joined his hands together and combined the two ultimate attributes. In the sky, there was an intense tremor, and a soaring aura of extermination filled the air. A four-colored pillar of light ignored the distance between them and instantly arrived in front of Ming Xiu. Netherworld Flamme Devour. Ming Xiu's heart skipped a beat when he saw Li Lingtian's destructive attack. He dared not be careless. With a wave of his Netherworld flag, hundreds of dark sea beasts fended off the attack. However, the nether beasts did not resist at all. In front of the four-colored light pillar, they were destroyed like air. The beam of light also struck the Netherworld flag, and a shocking devouring power appeared on the Netherworld flag. However, when this power collided with the four-colored pillar of light, a shocking explosion sounded. Rumble. With an earth-shattering explosion, the beam of light vanished and the Netherworld flag returned to its original form. Li Lingtian's body trembled as he was quickly sucked into the Netherworld flag. Countless powerhouses were horrified to see this. Even such a terrifying attack had been destroyed. Although the Netherworld flag had returned to its original form, Li Lingtian was about to be devoured. This was the most shocking thing. Spatial imprisonment. Unexpectedly, just as Li Lingtian was about to disappear, the space around him froze. A pair of crystal-clear wings appeared on Li Lingtian's shoulders. With a flap of the wings, Li Lingtian disappeared. The space returned to its original state, but Li Lingtian vanished into thin air as if he had never appeared. You don't know your own strength. Since that's the case, I'll show you what an attack is. Li Lingtian's figure appeared once again, but this time, he was far away from the square. He was hovering on top of a pavilion 10 miles away. With a faint smile on his face, he looked coldly at Ming Xiu. After saying that, he reached out with one hand and a ball of light appeared in his hand. Immediately, a crystal-clear sword appeared in front of him. Saint Artifact. Saint Artifact. A shocking pressure pressed down on the square. Within a radius of 100 miles, the pressure of the Saint Artifact descended, suppressing countless ghosts. After Spectral Soul was suppressed by the pressure, all the experts felt much less pressure, but when they felt the pressure in the air, they were all shocked. Although he had never seen a Saint Artifact before, only a Saint Artifact could emit such a pressure. The negative emotions in the warriors' hearts vanished when they saw the sacred weapon in front of Li Lingtian. With the existence of the sacred weapon, their chances were higher. Li's expression on Ming Xiu's face kept changing. He had not expected the other party to have a Saint Artifact. The power of a Saint Artifact was not something he could easily block. However, he was relieved when he saw Li Lingtian's cultivation base. It was impossible for a martial royal realm warrior to control a sacred weapon. Naturally, he would not be able to unleash its power. Myriad swords returned to the origin. Li Lingtian's expression was calm. His entire body was exuding a shocking sword will. He was like a sharp sword standing proudly between heaven and earth. Then, he slapped the ball of light in his hand, and the ball of light disappeared into the Tianyu sword. The Tianyu sword spun even faster. A summoning force appeared and all the warriors' swords within 100 miles of Li Lingtian in Qinglan City flew away automatically. In the blink of an eye, they had arrived around Li Lingtian. A world of swords was formed around Li Lingtian. With a wave of his hand, tens of thousands of sharp swords formed a circular sword array. The swords emitted destructive sword silks. With a thought of his divine sense, the 10,000 swords of the 10,000 returning swords flew out together and bombarded Xiao Ming with destructive sword light. The space also began to tremble. Chapter 315, Chapter 315, Level 3 Expert, 1. Chapter 315, Level 3 Expert, 1. All the powerhouses, including the Umbra beasts, stopped at that moment. They watched in horror as the 10,000 sword rays and Li Lingtian bombarded Ming Xiu. The Supreme Realm Expert was also shocked. He thought about how he had encountered such a heaven-grade divine power and did not know how to deal with it. Rumble. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Rumble. Chi-chi, chi-chi. The shocking sword light instantly struck Ming Xiu's defense and exploded with a terrifying destructive aura. Ming Xiu's entire body was smashed into pieces, and the netherworld flag in his hand was also knocked down. However, at this moment, the strange formation plate erupted with a shocking amount of netherworld chi. True Dragon Body Protection. In a flash, Li Lingtian arrived at the plaza as well. When he saw the shocking nether energy, he activated the True Dragon Body Barrier and unleashed his dragon energy to quickly suppress the nether energy. For a moment, the nether energy and dragon energy collided with each other, and the 10,000 swords of the myriad returning swords continuously strangled Xiu Ming. All the warriors were shocked and they saw Li Lingtian defeat Ming Xiu single-handedly. They were also relieved. If one die, I'll die with you. Just as all the cultivators felt that the battle had ended, Xiu Ming's sinister laughter rang out once again. The entire voice was ethereal and uncertain, and the source could not be found. Not good. Li Lingtian was shocked when he saw a terrifying beam of light emerge from the array board. The beam of light shot up into the sky and finally headed toward the Yi family's backyard. Boom! A loud explosion sounded in the backyard of the Yi clan, and a ray of light burst out. The appearance of this ray of light instantly enveloped the Yi clan, and all the warriors and infernal beasts in the square, including everything else, were sucked in. In the blink of an eye, not a single martial artist or Umbra beast was left on the Yi family square. All of them had disappeared. Only the warriors of the Yi family were still floating in the air. They were stunned when they saw everything in front of them. The world fell silent once again, as if nothing had happened. At the same time, a shocking light erupted in the direction of the Dongling clan. Shoo! The remaining martial artists were all shocked by what had happened in the Yi family. They did not know what was going on. Li Lingtian had already killed Xiu Ming and had even teleported everyone away. No one knew where he was teleported to. In less than 10 minutes, the news of the Yi clan and Dongling clan had spread throughout the entire Azure Mist City. The remnant of the netherworld, Xiu Ming, had appeared and released countless spirits and Umbra beasts. In the end, he had even teleported all the experts to a mysterious place. All the powerhouses had disappeared, including Sir Ling Tian and the Saint Alchemist from the alchemy competition. Li Lingtian's face was filled with shock. Faced with the strange suction force, he could not resist at all and could only watch helplessly as he was teleported away. His entire body entered a gray world, and the other martial artists could vaguely see him. However, in the end, there was only darkness in front of him. His body was inexplicably landed. When he saw it clearly, it was a hellish scene. Light gradually appeared in front of him, but this light was completely different from the usual world. It was as if a lamp was lit in the dark night, giving off a gloomy feeling. Swoosh. With a piercing sound, a cold aura burst out from behind. In a flash, Li Lingtian shifted 10 meters away in a strange manner. He looked at the black hand that had ambushed him and realized that it was a martial grandmaster Umbra beast. Die. Li Lingtian waved his hand and a sharp force was unleashed. Instantly, the Umbra beast at the martial ancestor level was split into two. A dusky inner core rolled out. Li Lingtian grabbed it with one hand and a stream of vital essence swept the inner core over. As he looked at the inner core, his expression changed rapidly. This inner core carried a dense aura of darkness, but it was indeed the wrong material. This place isn't the divine martial continent at all. Could it be the legendary 9 Netherworld city? Li Lingtian looked around and extended his divine consciousness. This place did not suppress the divine consciousness and allowed the warrior's divine consciousness to extend out. Looking at the surroundings, it was like hell. The gray world and some flowers and plants also looked gloomy. However, he did not see the 9 Netherworld city here. He did not know where this place was. However, even though he did not see Jiuyoming City, he could tell that this was no longer the divine martial continent, but an independent space. Then, he scanned the surroundings with his divine sense again and found 2 martial artists. They were also the martial artists in the Yi family square. The 2 martial artists were also terrified. They did not know where they were. Following that, Li Lingtian's body flashed. He had to find a place to rest and recover his true energy. Otherwise, he would be doomed if he encountered the terrifying Umbra beast. Half an hour later, in a hidden canyon, Li Lingtian waved his hands and a dozen formations of different sizes were cast. He then sat cross-legged and began to recover his true essence. After searching for half an hour, there was no cave at all. Only this canyon was slightly better. In this half an hour, they had discovered quite a number of Umbra beasts. Moreover, these Umbra beasts were all very low level, only at the 1st or 2nd rank. These Umbra beasts were definitely not the ones summoned by Ming Xiu in the Yi family square. This only proved one thing: this place was the Umbra land, or rather, 9 Nether City. Only Jiuyoming City had such a world. Li Lingtian was even more vigilant because there was still Ming Xiu. He would not have died so easily. Although his myriad returning swords was much stronger than before, it was not enough to kill a 5th-level martial honored realm Xiu Ming. After a day, Li Lingtian walked out of the canyon and began to search around. He could not stay in this place for long and had to find a way to leave. However, this world was gray and there was no way to leave at all. A flying sword appeared under his feet and quickly flew into the distance. He could not find a way out alone, but he could join forces with other Supreme Realm experts to search for it. 5 days passed. In these 5 days, he did meet a few martial artists, but they were all martial emperors. He had not even met a martial honor. On the way, they encountered countless Umbra beasts. Li Lingtian was able to kill Tier 4 and Tier 5 Umbra beasts in a single blow. However, it would take some time for him to fight Tier 6 Umbra beasts. Because in such a place, he did not dare to be too careless. He could only fight steadily. On this day, as Li Lingtian was flying, a destructive beam of light blasted toward him, causing the space to tremble. Li Lingtian's body flashed when he saw the destructive light, but he could not escape the light's attack. Ice and Fire Ring. Shield of the Earth. True Dragon Body Protection. With the 2 treasures and the True Dragon Body Barrier, even a martial emperor would find it difficult to break through such a defense. Boom! With a dull thud, Li Lingtian's body was pushed back. His mind trembled as he spat out a mouthful of blood. At this moment, an elegant figure appeared in the air with a faint smile on his face. "You don't recognize me, right?" The middle-aged man said coldly as he walked toward Li Lingtian step by step. His entire body was emitting a dense true essence force. A terrifying aura tore through the air. Just this aura alone made the martial monarch powerhouse lose the slightest sense of resistance. The expression on Li Lingtian's face kept changing. He was also shocked. He did not expect a powerhouse at the peak of third heaven martial honored realm to appear in this place. He had not seen this middle-aged man during the battle in the square, so he did not know how he had arrived here. He was a rank 1 martial emperor and had no chance against a peak 3rd level martial honored realm expert. His strength was enough to deal with a first heaven powerhouse. If it was a third heaven, he could only run. I don't seem to know you. Why did you attack me in this place? Li Lingtian's expression gradually calmed down as he asked the middle-aged man in a questioning tone. I don't have Jianpain of Kanglin House. Jianpain said coldly with a disdainful look on his face. A martial royal realm expert had somehow killed the warriors of the House of Storms. How embarrassing. So it's the trash from the Kanglin house. One have nothing to say. Li Lingtian's face revealed an one-seat expression as he summoned his thunderclap wings. With a flash of the thunderclap wings, he vanished, and when he reappeared, he was already 20 miles away. You want to escape from me? You're courting death. Jianpain did not expect that a martial emperor would dare to run away from him. It was simply an insult. His expression darkened as his figure flashed and disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already at the spot where Li Lingtian had appeared. The two of them continued to flash. Li Lingtian was using his thunderclap wings. Jianpain was astonished after every flash because there was no spatial fluctuation when Li Lingtian teleported. Furthermore, he had to use his divine perception to search for Li Lingtian when he was chasing after him. Otherwise, he would not be able to find Li Lingtian's whereabouts. One after the other, the two figures flashed continuously, playing a game of chase. Spatial imprisonment. After Li Lingtian's 7th flash, his body disappeared and he never reappeared again. There was no trace of his aura left behind. He used the spatial banner and hid in the air. There was no aura on his body. He looked at the middle-aged man who was chasing after him with a sharp gaze and began to calculate in his heart. He did not have the slightest confidence that he would be at the peak of the 3rd level of the martial honored realm. If it was another 3rd level martial honored realm expert, he could still make a move. However, the experts of the House of Storms did not dare to be so rash. As one of the 3 most powerful forces in the Azure continent, the experts below were also tyrannical and powerful. They were countless times stronger than those of the same cultivation level. His figure was hidden in the air as he watched Jianpain scan with his divine consciousness. When the divine consciousness came to his side, he could clearly feel his heart tremble. The divine consciousness of a peak 3rd level martial honored realm expert was indeed domineering. Chapter 316, Chapter 316, Escape, Heaven-Destroying Divine Arrow. Chapter 316, Escape, Heaven-Destroying Divine Arrow. However, so what if his divine sense was powerful? It was still not on the same level as the eyes of the divine soul. Jianpain's divine sense was indeed powerful, at the peak of the 3rd level of the Supreme Realm. However, his divine sense was huge but scattered. It was not as sharp as the eye of the divine soul. Li Lingtian hovered in the air and concealed himself. The spatial banner enveloped the area within 100 meters, making it impossible to see or locate him. Jianpain exclaimed in surprise. That martial emperor youth had actually disappeared right under his nose. Although the young man's teleportation was magical, he could only move within 20 miles and could not escape the divine sense of a martial honor. However, this young man had escaped right in front of him. He felt a wave of humiliation in his heart. If news of this spread, where would he put it in front of him? He searched the air with his spirit sense again and again. He firmly believed that this young man had not left the range of his spirit sense. Seconds passed by, and everyone within a radius of 500 miles had been scanned by his divine sense. His entire body was constantly moving. However, at this moment, a destructive pressure descended from the sky. This pressure was like the divine might of the 9 heavens, making people feel like worshipping it. The wrath of the gods. In the sky, countless bolts of lightning struck down. Every bolt of lightning contained destructive power, and a terrifying aura filled the space. Jianpei's expression changed drastically when he saw the scene of destruction. Heaven-tier divine power skill. Jianpei had never expected such a destructive attack to appear in the sky. This destructive attack was not heavenly might, but a divine power skill cast by a martial artist, a heaven-grade divine power. He had seen many heaven-tier divine power skills, but he had never seen such a terrifying one. He had also mastered a heaven-grade divine power skill, but it was only a low-grade divine power. The divine power before him was definitely a top-notch existence. Naturally, he did not know that after Li Lingtian's cultivation reached the martial emperor realm, several of his heaven-ranked divine powers had reached the mastery stage. The power he displayed was also extremely domineering. It was many times stronger than when he was a martial arts grandmaster. As his cultivation reached the martial emperor realm, all his skills and cultivation had improved, and his strength had soared. The god's wrath of heaven had reached a terrifying level. When it was unleashed, the destructive lightning between heaven and earth would strike. Even a supreme realm expert would be caught off guard. Heavenly light, the body of a god. While Jianpei was shocked, he could only use his strongest defense. Immediately, the destructive attacks continued to bombard him, and his entire body was blasted into the soil. Boom! With the final explosion, the wrath of the gods disappeared. Jianpei was beaten until his face was covered in dust. There was blood at the corner of his mouth, and his face was filled with anger. Damn it! With a loud roar, his body flashed out, but at this moment, a destructive sword intent pressed down from the sky. At the same time, a shocking pressure continued to crush down from the sky. He raised his head and saw a crystal-clear longsword spinning in the sky. The young man was also in the air with a mysterious light in his hand. He had a faint smile on his face and a disdainful look in his eyes. So what if he was a supreme realm expert? As long as he had the upper hand, he would still beat him up when he was down. Myriad swords returned to the origin. Rumble. There was no resistance at all. The destructive sword light and countless flowers and plants turned into sharp swords that bombarded Jianpei continuously. Jianpei was beaten up like a beggar. The protective light shield on his body was also blasted into pieces, and his face was pale. The blood that flowed out also soaked the clothes on his chest, making him look extremely terrifying. Heaven-destroying divine arrow, die. Jianpei had never suffered such a blow before. He was actually suppressed by a martial emperor. At this moment, he could no longer hold it in. With a violent roar, a shocking violent aura burst out. He grabbed at the air with one hand and a spirit chi arrow appeared. A mighty and domineering bow was drawn and the spirit chi arrow was aimed at Li Lingtian. Instantly, Li Lingtian's heart trembled involuntarily. It was similar to the feeling he had when he encountered the mysterious heavenly bow. After being locked onto, his aura was also locked onto. As if being stared at by a venomous snake, the sword light of the Tianyu sword also directly bombarded downwards. Even with the attack of the Tianyu sword, he did not feel at ease at all. He circulated his true essence and used the great cloud palm. At the same time, he also used the shield of the earth. Rumble. A long arrow shot towards the Tianyu sword with a loud explosion, bringing along Li Lingtian's destruction. Li Lingtian's heart skipped a beat when he realized that the celestial sword's sword radiance had been broken by such an arrow. The celestial sword was a perfect grade saint weapon. Coupled with the power of the myriad returning sword, it could even kill a martial supreme with a single strike. However, in front of a third-level supreme realm expert, it was broken so easily. It seemed that after a Supreme Realm expert showed his might, he could not be underestimated. Crash. The shield of the earth was a low-grade heaven artifact, but a hole appeared in front of the arrow. The arrow pierced through the shield of the earth. The great cloud palm did not resist at all and directly dissipated. The light shield protecting the true dragon's body also quickly trembled in front of this arrow. He spat out a mouthful of blood as the arrow pierced through the light shield of the true dragon. His arm was pierced through, and he had to move instinctively in the face of danger. However, it was too late, and his arm was still destroyed by the arrow. The true essence in his entire body started to run amok. This sharp arrow carried a strange destructive power that could completely attack and defend. His body fell rapidly, and his mind trembled. He never thought that this arrow would be so domineering, completely beyond his imagination. With a flick of his divine sense, he withdrew the sky sword and disappeared in a flash. You want to leave? There's no way. Jian Pain was enraged when he saw Li Lingtian escaping. He had used up more than half of his true essence and blood essence to cast the arrow. He had paid a hefty price. However, he didn't expect that he still couldn't kill this young man. He also felt a trace of fear towards this young man. If he did not have the heaven-extinguishing divine arrow and was killed by the other party, he would have ended up in such a state as a third heaven-revered martial artist. His body flashed and his divine sense swept around. This time, he definitely couldn't let this young man leave. Otherwise, there would be endless trouble. As the thunderclap wings flapped, Li Lingtian spat out a mouthful of blood from 20 miles away. His expression turned ugly. The true essence in his body was in chaos, his arm was numb and he could not move. Even true essence could not stop the bleeding at the wound. There was also a strange force surging in his body, making it impossible for his true essence to calm down. If this continued, not to mention killing a third-level Supreme Realm expert, even using his true essence would be a problem. Without true chi, a cultivator would be useless. In a place like this, not having true chi was not courting death. Ice Flame. Li Lingtian activated his divine consciousness and a stream of icy frost flame gushed out. This wisp of icy frost flame was condensed while he was resting here and could only be used now. The icy frost flame was aimed at the wound.